Oh, there he is.
I don't hear
How are
him.
you? You ready? Are you there? Are you well? Oh, I think I found the dirty phone call line by mistake. Yeah.
Alright, love. Oh, do you want to know what I'm wearing?
Talk, Ginny.
Huh?
Long time no talk. Hey-o.
I know,
yeah. Are we ready?
I don't know.
We're going to say something silly before the show starts.
Okay.
I got it.
Welcome to the flower shop.
Ooh, isn't it crazy how time works? Okay, we're done. Start the show.
Do it.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch. Shots fired! Shots fired! Welcome, yo, to the veteran gamers. Ginny and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week.
How do you know?
Stu story time and Ginny's game breakers. Here comes Stu with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran gamers. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, huh?
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Your attention, please.
Hello and welcome to episode 435 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 435. All funk, no jive. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
I'm Ginny.
There you go.
I want everyone listening to know that I have a new sound clip. I am ready
Ooh, premiere.
to it until I need to. So it's locked and loaded. I'm ready to use it at the
But
first...
how do I know when to trigger it?
How do you know?
I have full confidence that it will come about organically at some point in the show.
You have to do me a deal here, Eric.
What's
if it
that?
doesn't come about organically during this episode, you have to play it by the end.
Oh, of course.
Can I ask you a
I
question?
need
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Will it be due to something I say or
Probably.
something Chinny says?
Probably something Stu says. But I'm not
Okay.
gonna discriminate. I'm not going to make up my mind ahead of time. I'm going to let it be and see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, okay then.
Let it be. Let it be. Let it... Did y'all see Childish Gambino's new video? Oh my god!
Nope.
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 I must say I'm not crazy about the music, but the video is interesting if nothing else. So, anybody out there, if you listen to Childish Gambino, you seen the America video? Let's talk about it.
So
Yeah.
what's good about it? Tell us why we should look at it.
I'm not saying you should. It's an interesting
all right,
video.
all
I don't know if I'd consider it. I mean, it's powerful. I'm not going to say anything about it because that would detract from the ability to make an impact. I would say that the style of music is here was a going on, having a pushing on. This is America. That's not my kind of music. That's what's
Yeah, I
called.
definitely wouldn't want to listen to that. It sounds a bit weird.
Sounds good.
Yeah, well, it's this new generation, man. It's not the boom bap Public Enemy style hip hop I grew up with. So it's just different. That's all. It's okay.
It's just different.
Anyway.
Different's okay. It's all right to be different.
It's okay. It's just not my jam. That's all.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story time.
I got a story. Once upon a time, there were these three guys who did a podcast, and they called themselves the Veteran Gamers, even though they weren't actual military veterans. They were veterans of the gaming lifestyle. And one time when they were doing the podcast, Duke forgot to say that at the start, so he said it in the guise of a story, and then he handed it off to Chinny so he could say his thing that he says at the start of every show.
There's also another story about when they stream, and rumour has it that they stream on a Sunday night at 9 p.m. But no, not just 9 p.m. for anyone, for British people. So if you're in a different time zone, you have to adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Suck it.
I have got a story.
Yeah, but it's usually, your stories are usually, I bought something and I got in my car and I fucking drove my car.
No.
Let's not jump to conclusions.
No.
Sarah. Go ahead. What's your story?
It's a cookery story. Cookery time.
Your job?
No, this was in my spare time at home. But yeah, anyway, here's the thing. I've tried a new pizza base this week. I've tried a new one.
That's your story?
A new
Nobody's. I'm informing people, right, that it's the best way to make pizza bases at home. You know, this is why it's informative.
Do you know how I
people.
make pizza bases?
You buy them.
I go to Sainsbury's and I buy them.
Yeah.
You say pizza base. Are you talking about like dough?
Yeah, pizza dough, pizza base,
Why don't
pizza
you just
dough.
call it pizza dough.
Well, whatever. Anyway, I found this new recipe, right? And it's a Neapolitan pizza base, and you use a slow fermentation method.
Hey, guess what? It's only a few minutes into the show, and I already have a chance to use my new sound clip. Here it comes.
I'm just going to tell you straight to your face that what you're saying right now is very boring.
It's not boring. It's not boring now because.
And I was right. It was Stu who called it.
Listen.
was so
If you make your own pizza bases, this is interesting for people because
Which is 1% of our listeners' base.
they are super crispy. I'm telling you now, best pizzas ever. Best pizza.
I'm glad you're happy with your new pizza base.
I'm very
Well,
happy
2
with that
days in
sound
the
clip.
fridge,
I feel
2
like
days in the fridge.
I feel like we're going to be using that sound clip a lot.
Well, I always want to keep it mixed up because there's several different ones we have for people who are boring. And I don't want the boring sound effects to get boring, in fact. So, I'm always on the lookout.
yeah.
There's some others I haven't gotten yet, but I know where to get them. So someday I'll track those down too.
Yeah.
Look, people like food. What's your problem?
Yeah,
No, it's
but
not people like food. They don't like hearing about how to make Neapolitan pizza base.
Because people
that's
might
not
want to
what
make
people,
This is a whole
not
problem.
everybody likes making food, Stu.
So, look, food is massive. I think you're wrong right there.
I think some people do enjoy making food, and they're weird, and some people
Most
like to
people play video games, and those who tune into a video game podcast are the type of people who go, Pizza Hut.
Yeah, but what you're missing the whole point here, right? Best gaming food is pizza because you can use your hands. You don't need knives and forks. You can have it at the side of you on a plate.
I feel like
You
as
don't
I
take a piece of
as I
time
get
in between
older,
stuff.
I feel like as I get older, I enjoy eating a pizza with a knife and fork.
You're just weird.
It just makes me feel a little bit more sophisticated.
Sure it does.
There's so many ways to feel sophisticated. That's not a very healthy
No,
one.
I think that's the
it is.
top, to be honest, Eric. I do. Shall we talk about video games?
I think we should.
Yeah,
Here,
let's
wait.
do that.
You going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
I'm on point today with these sound clips.
Really?
Are you seriously talking about video games?
At the moment,
yeah.
I feel like the ratio between the show, between sound clips and us talking, is about 50-50 right now.
Yeah, probably.
It
Let's
is.
take a
It
dip
is.
now because I just wanted to, once we get to what you've been playing, there's not as much call for.
I wonder if we can get away with doing a whole show just of sound clips.
We could do it. I think we could definitely do it.
We can just take a break for a week and just Duke can edit
Yeah.
it all together.
Yeah. It'd be fine.
Hey.
You could just yeah.
Me and Duke
Fine.
did a spoiler cast.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I believe.
And spoilers,
believe-
if you listen to the Overseas Connection version, they publish it first. But I'm not bitter about that at all. Mark.
Oh, you could have done it. There's no
Yeah,
time
but
with me,
I'm
that.
editing it. I'm editing it, you see.
I
And
was
Mark
gonna
just
say, what's
uploaded
the
it
problem?
raw, So if you want to listen to the terrible version, listen to the Overseas Connection.
Is it?
I
Really
did wonder.
Yeah, it will be different because I'm gonna have like music in there and clips and stuff.
Okay.
So if you want, like the normal shows, if you want to listen to a terrible version of people talking about video games, listen to the Elvis's Connection. If you want to hear quality, come here.
Think about the predicament you in, dog, before you talk again. I'm eating.
That
Beef,
sound
baby.
clip that you have for Beef, you know, the rap there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote to never hear that one again. I don't like that one.
I don't know what to tell you. It's Philly's most, and we're gonna hear it. So.
You just said
Yeah,
words that
get
don't
over
mean
it.
anything to me. It's like you just said it's sausage goat. So, all right, great.
That would be a good name for a rap group. though.
Sausage goat. The sausage
Sausage
goats.
goats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What up, motherfucker? With the sausage goats.
It's round robin time for the what you been playing segment. Who's going first?
I don't know. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I finished Super Meat Boy again.
Meat Boy.
And goddamn, that last level is such a monster because it's there's several stages to the last level because it's the boss fight with Dr. Fetus, and it starts out with these 2 rows of saw blades on either side of the screen, and it moves when it wants to. So not only do you have to avoid all the saw blades along the way, but you can't jump ahead before it's time. You can't fall back. And Dr. Fetus is constantly shooting at you. So there's all these different things you have to dodge. And I was seriously thinking about doing it live so that I could talk about how I process the frustration involved as kind of an object lesson in my, because I do think that it was, a moment that really challenged me in terms of I was getting so mad, and I had to keep telling myself like, okay, recognize the anger, don't hold on to it, let it be what it is, and then just let go of it, and put your.
I'm not sure getting into Duke's psyche is a good idea.
Well, I think it might be useful for some people who, want to know about managing anger. This is an example of a situation where it's anger. I don't know. I always think.
I think it would be interesting to watch. I have to say, you getting like super angry.
I uninstalled it, because there's all these different levels. Super Meat Boy is structured in such a way that, when I posted on Reddit when I finished it the first time, I posted a screenshot of that last moment when I finished, and I said, finding my dream job, marrying my wife, whatever. Those are nice moments, but nothing has equaled this in terms of awesomeness. And, a lot of people were like, yeah, all right, Super Meat Boy, woo. But some people were like, now you have to go and do all the Dark World things and then do the extra bonus levels at the end and get all the Band-Aids. And I was like, I'm not doing any of that. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I mean, I know what they're talking about, but there's
Can I
something.
ask you a question? Now, how did you feel the second time around? Did you feel as elated, or was it just a bit like, done it before?
It wasn't. It wasn't as exciting as it was the first time, but nevertheless, it felt really good because it was, like I said last time, it's the type of thing where I knew I could do it, but it also that brings certain frustrations because you don't remember how hard it was last time, and all you think about is how you did it, and so it's easy to think this time, oh, I'm not doing it very well. I'm not doing it quickly. So, but it felt really good. I was very proud of myself.
Did it take you as long this time, or was you a bit quicker?
It's hard to say. I think probably a little quicker because there's certain, levels where you have to figure out what you're doing first. And I didn't have to really do that for many of these levels. Like I pretty much knew, okay, this is the level where you have to dip down and then fall over and then, drop right between the saw blades, as in 6-2 Schism. So it wasn't, I didn't have to spend time figuring things out like that. That said, there were some levels where I kept dying over and over again. I'm like, I don't know exactly how to do this. And so there were a couple of moments where you had to like piece it together. So.
Which reminds me of N Plus so much.
Yeah.
I still need to. This was on my Dirty 30. I suppose it still is if you still count that. But yeah, this is a game that I've got it on my things to do. I do want to play it.
It's a great game. I really, the fact that I've played it all the way through twice, I think speaks to its quality.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the best example for me of like a very hard game that doesn't make you feel like it's impossible. And I think that's important to me. Because Dark Souls, I'm sure I could have learned how to play it, but I never felt like I can do this. Whereas with this game, I feel like part of the thing for me is telling myself you get a little further each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Celeste does really, really well.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's a very similar sort of mechanics. Every time you figure out how to do something, you're like, oh yeah, I know what I've got to do. Now I've just got to pull it off.
Right.
That's the key.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, very similar, I would have said, in mechanics wise, in that especially in that respect.
Yep. So Super Meat Boy, thumbs up. If you never played it, you should do it because it's awesome.
Yeah. I think you'll have to wait till Celeste goes on sale because I think you will definitely like it.
Yeah, I'll probably play it at some point.
Yeah. I can imagine you will.
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, over to you, Chinny.
It was Duke. Was you going to say something? Or did you finish?
No, he said, who's next?
I said, sandwich time for Duke.
Okay.
Sandwich time.
Well, I
Wow.
played a video game. I don't know. Do you know that I've played this game? I wonder if you know or not. I don't know.
I know because I noticed it on the Twitch. Well, on the Twitters. It was on the Twitter sphere that you were doing it. So I was like,
So I was going to play.
I have had a look. I've watched a bit. I've watched a bit of it.
You're playing God of War 3, right?
I was going to play God of War, but Tara wants to watch it, and she was away yesterday, Saturday, and most of today. So I couldn't start it without her. And I thought, what game do I have that I could start? And it was The Witcher 3. It's a bit intimidating playing a game like The Witcher 3 when you just starting a game. It's like Skyrim, It's the similar sort of thing where you go, fucking hell, this is going to be a big one.
I think what was interesting watching you play it was, well, two things. One, that you didn't like the controls at all at the beginning. I don't know whether that's changed as you've been playing. And the other thing was just all the systems it kind of introduces at the beginning.
It literally
like,
throws a lot of shit at you at the start.
Well, yeah, it does.
And I am taking that with a bit of pinch of salt because I know that this isn't the game that you're in for 8 hours. This is a game where you're in for a long, long time. So I kind of assume that I will pick this shit up as I go, which is fine. But it really, I'm by the way, I'm about 4.5 roughly hours in. So
you
I know. I was
Say again, Duke.
I was gonna.
So you've just finished the tutorial then?
Yes. So just the
much.
bit where you finish training the kid at the start.
Right. Siri, her name is Siri. Come on.
Siri, come on, man. It's important.
Yeah.
A deep connection with her now, right?
Oh yeah, really. Like I want to kill her. She's so annoying. Deep.
No, you want to care for her.
Oh
and
yeah.
but not smother her with your.
No, she was annoying. Like it wasn't. I have to say, the acting's very wibbly wobbly in this game.
How dare you, sir?
Now, whatever I say, and I said this about Skyrim, so don't give me this shit. I don't want to be judged. I'm just saying it, right? The fucking acting's wibbly wobbly. I feel like Geralt.
It is. No, I agree.
Geralt isn't the best. I know he's a lecturer at a university, I think, so he's not an actual voice actor like a. I don't think it's his full-time job. I know that, but still, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, it's a bit ropey. And then they get a proper voice actor in to do some parts, and you're like, oh yeah, you can tell this person's a proper voice actor.
No, but to be fair, the way that Geralt is played is he is very deadpan. He doesn't really show any emotion.
But
that's
no,
character,
that's not my problem. I quite, to say something good about Geralt, I actually quite like him as a character. He's a lot funnier than I thought he would be.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realise how funny he would be. Like, one of his dialogue options was like, somebody tells you a story and he's like, well, that was interesting. He tells little jokes. He's almost sort of winking to you, when he tells a joke, which is good. I like that. And I do think Geralt is quite a likeable character. I've got no problem with the character of Geralt. I just have a problem with the voice actor now and again. Not all the time. But I definitely noticed that he isn't, the best of actors when it comes to especially when there's a lot of dialogue. I feel like Geralt doesn't do so well. But there are other characters in the game that are very good voice actors. I feel like there are some good ones as well. But yes, I mean, so I can only talk about the start. As I say, about 4.5 hours in. Every minute I play of The Witcher 3 will be streamed live, like Skyrim was. And I'll probably play it at about 2-hour chunks. I won't do another 4-hour one like that again. That was just because I knew it was the start and it was going to take a while for me to sort of get into it.
So what are your general first impressions then?
Yeah, and like you say, Stu, like I wasn't really getting on with the way Geralt moves. I felt like he didn't move very well. I was quite shocked really at how sort of bad his movement was, especially because in the very start of the game, you're not in an open world. You're in a sort of like some sort of castle thing, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. And you have to traverse. The first thing you do.
The Witcher headquarters.
The first thing you do is you go up ladders and you go down stuff and like, which now,
parkour.
Upon reflection, now I've got into the game, is a really weird way to introduce the movement.
You barely do any of that stuff.
You don't do any of it. I mean, sometimes you'll climb up a rock or something like that. But I was just like, fuck, this is bizarre. Like the fact that you've got to do all this, and I really struggled to navigate him around sort of like tighter areas. And it does there's a lot to learn very quickly, and it's all writing. It's all like text on the screen. And I did, if you did watch the playthrough, Stu, you'll notice that I did read it properly. I read it out loud, and I was trying to.
You were very frustrated, but you read it out.
Yeah, I read it out, and I'm trying to give it a go. I realise that there's a lot of quality in this game, and I will say that I am enjoying it. And I will say, people who sort of compare it to Red Dead and things like that, I can see it. I can see that this is my type of game, apart from all the nonsense like magic stuff. But I like these types of games. I like good third-person open world action games. I like these games. I would say that more than usual though. Things like Red Dead or GTA or. Even like to a lesser extent, I enjoy like games like Infamous or Watch Dogs or Assassin's Creed. I would say out of all of them, this is like there's way more to learn here than your average sort of game that I'm into. But I'm giving it a chance. I just the first 2 hours I was really sort of struggling to sort of think, God, like, am I going to get hang of all this? And as it went on, I did. But I still wasn't playing it very well, and I was trying to work out things before it told me how to do them. I was trying to work out, I was what anybody would do. Okay, I'm dying, so I need health or I need potions, and my character, I went to fight this fucking ghost thing by a well or some shit.
Oh, a wraith.
Wraith, yeah, and my character said, "Oh, I better drink up some potions and oils before I fight this stupid thing." And I was like, I don't know how to do that, Geralt, you wanker. And but I was kind of jumping ahead a lot. I found I was trying to be a smart aleck and trying to work out things before they'd introduce them. But I do like the game so far. I'm quite impressed with it.
I think that's an interesting thing with open world games, because I remember that happening on a GTA game at some point. Like I wanted to do, I don't remember what it was, but I wanted to do a thing, and it was clear that I was probably going to learn about it at some point, but I didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
So it might have been GTA 5 with like robbing stores, like I'd heard about it, just do this. And then like I didn't know how to do it, and I knew that the game would walk me through it. So I was like, this doesn't work well, this is stupid. And then later when I actually had the mission where it teaches you how to do it, it was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But obviously, in an open world game, the developers have to be careful that they don't hold your hand for too long, because part of the fun of an open world game is you just wandering around, and, having a look at.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the promise of Witcher 3 is it's a big open world, right? And like for a long time it holds your hand. But I can see why they do it. They're throwing so much shit at you. You've got to learn lots of stuff.
And you didn't play 2, right?
No.
No.
See, I think that's a big part of it too, because I remember feeling like they were throwing a lot at me in The Witcher 3, but it didn't feel as overwhelming, probably because I played The Witcher 2.
Yeah,
I think in addition as well with The Witcher 2, one of your main complaints was that it didn't explain stuff very well, and I think they probably took that on board with The Witcher 3 and knew it was going to be a much more popular game, so they had to make sure.
Specifically, they were like, "Oh, Duke was confused. We better."
No. I mean, just in general.
Guys, there's a chap called Eric on a shitty podcast that I was listening to, and he thinks we need more tutorials, so we've got to change everything. Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't think it's because of Duke, but I do think in general they realised that with The Witcher 3.
I think we should continue this line of discussion.
I actually think it was Duke. Yeah,
it was Duke. It was because of Duke's complaints about the silver and normal sword.
I've got a question about the leveling up system.
Yes.
Why is it shit?
Well, now then, there is something...
It's green, and you got mutagens, and it's red.
Yeah. What you've got to be thinking about, right? What tends to happen is I tended to sort of focus on the spell that creates like a force field, like a protective shield.
A shield.
And
that's called.
Yeah, shield. Yeah, I can't remember what they're all called.
Shield.
Shield. And
like out of all the weird words in The Witcher, shield is the one you forget, is it, Stu?
Yeah, and the fire spell, using fire. And when you level that up to its max, is so cool because he just streams fire. It's so good.
I think
really powerful.
The question you need to ask yourself is, how do you want to fight?
That's it. That's it. You got to decide whether you want fire shooting out your hands or you want. You see when you talk.
Go ahead.
I was going to say when you're talking about the wraiths, for instance, the best spell to use them is I think it's Yerden.
You got
the trap spell that holds, so it holds them in place, slows them down, and then you can attack them, and they can't teleport while they're slowed down. You see,
you got to have different spells for different monsters, Jenny.
Yeah.
Don't worry, people come into the chat and tell me this shit. They're very, very, they're very clear about it.
5 spoiler cast. One of the reasons I love Skyrim is because the way you deal with 99% of the monsters is stab them with the pointy end till they're dead. Yeah. That's it. And if you want to electrocute them till they're dead, fine. If you want to use ice until they're dead, fine. If you want to use fire till they're dead, fine. If you want to hit them with a bow and arrow, fine. But you can, throughout most of the game, just stab them with the pointy end until they're dead. Not this.
Witcher 3 slightly different in so much as some monsters are immune to certain things, so it won't actually have any effect on them. So you have to read your glossery and your bestiary or whatever the hell it's called and look at what the weaknesses are and what works against them and stuff like that when you come across them.
I don't like the jumping.
Yeah, jumping does look a bit weird.
Jumping looks like he's defying all laws of nature when he does that.
Look, he is a Witcher.
Well, true. Look at Stu trying to defend the game. Well, he's a Witcher, so he's magic jumps.
That's how he jumps.
It makes sense that he jumps like a weirdo.
Yeah,
he jumps like he's on the fucking moon. The thing at the moment is my silver sword, which I never remember which side of the fucking D-pad it is. I see a thing, I go, and it'll get the right one out. But sometimes I'll be on a horse or something, I'm like, which one is it again? Have I got the right one out? I don't fucking know.
Well, I think the game usually pulls the correct one out.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it does.
That's nice.
Which is nice. That didn't happen in the second one.
Well, there are instances where I sort of confused which one I've got out at some points. But yeah, my silver sword has broken, right?
Yeah, you need a repair kit.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that, but you wasn't there when I was playing it, was you?
I saw this. I did see this, and you're like, how the fuck do I fix it?
Yeah, but that isn't my fault that I didn't know that, right? And that's another example of well, that wasn't me getting ahead of myself. I just didn't talk to the fucking blacksmith guy when I was supposed to, I think. Because the game goes, this is a blacksmith. And I think at that point I'm supposed to go over to the blacksmith and talk to him, but I didn't. I just sort of went to the other guy. Yeah, I do like it, Stuart. You'll be pleased to know I am enjoying it.
Yes, I'm glad. I am glad you like it.
Thank you. You made it. Look at it. Thank you.
Thank you. For giving you the recommend. No. Can I just say something as well, just to give you some sort of help? It's kind of help.
Does he have
I don't really
the only thing I was going to say was just ignore any quests that are below your level.
Below your level?
Yeah, because you don't get any XP at all for anything that's below your level. So if you say you're level 6 and you do a level 5 quest, you'll get no XP for doing it.
It could be an interesting story.
Well, it could be, but you know, you're not going to level up your character, and that's
all you care about, Stu, is
faults.
the story.
Yeah, but that was one of the no story missions always give you XP, so it's only side missions.
No, but like an interesting side story, what does it matter if you don't get XP? It's a good story.
Yeah, because it's like, you see, that was one of my criticisms of The Witcher 3, in so much as I ignored stuff a lot because I was like, well, there's no point doing that now because I'm not going to get any XP and I need to level the character up, and yeah. So it's
so
a
you
bit of a
don't
shame,
care
but I
about a good
understand why
story,
they do
you
it.
just care about fucking XP, you shallow bastard.
I guess. But that's one of the clever things with The Witcher 3, because the most XP you get is from the story missions. So they sort of steer you in that direction because you know you're going to get some hefty XP if you do story missions as opposed to the side stuff.
Yep.
But it stops the grind. Makes you avoid the grinding.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that I'm nitpicking here. I don't like the fact that the map isn't just like I have to press start and then press A to get in the map. That pisses me off.
Yeah.
I need to sneeze.
Achoo!
Okay.
You see, on the PS4,
I went playing golf today. That's what I'm saying.
It was on the big button, you know, the big button in the middle, and you just press that once and you're in the map.
I love that
Which
big
made
button on the
sense, it was
PlayStation.
brilliant.
It's just the map button.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, nitpicking. I know. I'm trying to think really. Tara asked me the question. So, are you enjoying it more than Skyrim? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that yet, because what I do like about Skyrim more than The Witcher is like it's kind of like a janky mess in a way, like the way the characters, you know, like for example, like I saw a giant on the back of a dragon once in Skyrim, and I quite like that. And I know I just thought that was fun, and I like because the characters are. You know, the animation is better in The Witcher, and you know, you could say some of the voice acting is better in The Witcher, and it kind of, I mean, it does look like you know, Red Dead Redemption in the way how beautiful the world is. And I'm not saying Skyrim isn't beautiful at times, but Skyrim looks a pretty game until you see a person in it, and then they just look like an idiot, or you know, they walk like idiots, and yeah, I don't know, but there's something about Skyrim that like that you never quite know what the AI is going to do. In a fun way, and you know, the things like if you kill a chicken in a Skyrim village, like the whole village like starts attacking you. I did steal something in The Witcher. I accidentally looted something that I wasn't supposed to, and this fucking guard just went and went for me. So there is a bit of that. So I don't know. I do like it. I'm enjoying it. It does have a danger, Duke, here of I might think it better of Skyrim at some point. I do feel like it might creep up on me.
Hey, I don't have something I need you to feel some way about this game.
I just don't want to make you cry.
Opinion evolves over the time.
No.
Dude, if I needed to love Skyrim because other people loved it, I'd be a hard person to please, because there's plenty of people who hate all over Skyrim.
Yeah. Yes, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying The Witcher 3. I'm glad I've started it, and I'm well into it. So if you want to have fun watching me play it, then check it out.
So can I ask a question? What are you playing? What level? What level are you playing on?
What do you mean?
Did you go easy?
Oh.
Did you go easy? Or
There's
medium?
the story and sword, and then there's 4, isn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember now.
There's easy, medium, hard.
Blood and guts or something like blood and bone.
Yeah, there's the story where it's just like piss easy. Then there's story and sword, which is like, you know, a bit challenging. And then there's like, I'm a dedicated gamer, and then there's mega hard. I played the story and sword.
Is, you get hurt in a battle, do you regain your health quickly at the end of the battle when you meditate?
No,
or do you have to keep?
I've died many times in this game.
Okay, then you're probably on the blood and bone.
Yeah, you're definitely not on story, because on story you can just meditate and get your health back.
I'm on story. No, I can meditate and get my health back.
Oh well, you're on story then, because
there's story and sword. Then there's the blood one, and then there's the really really hard one. I'm on story and sword, so it's a bit challenging. But it's
that's what I played on.
But it's definitely it's definitely hard. I've died. Like I feel like the combat is I feel like the combat's really good, but if you don't concentrate, you'll get dicked. Like that wraith that I was fighting. When I first started fighting her, I was just fucking hacking away, and she was dicking me, right? And I only had like 3 jugs of water for health, so I didn't have very many. So she killed me, and then I did it again, and then it felt like a bit. I'd imagine what Dark Souls feels like to a lesser, like on a minor scale, because I had to sort of like learn the patterns, the hit patterns, and I realised that when she does this one thing, she won't attack me, but when I hit her, she'll attack me straight away. And when she does this other thing, I'll attack her. I can get 2 hits in before she swings for me. See, you know what I mean? So I started to learn how, and I was a lot more careful knowing that I had to reserve my health. So I actually quite liked that battle. And that actually got me thinking,
skill.
I might like Dark Souls at some point.
You possibly would.
Yeah.
You really should play Demon Souls, because that was the original. Yeah, I get that.
To be fair though, Dark Souls is still a whole other proposition. I mean, this has its moments, but Dark Souls is.
I know, but like I got a taste of like what Dark Souls is about, and we talked about Dark Souls when you was talking about Super Meat Boy, that sort of challenging thing. And I've always been tempted with Dark Souls, but I mean, one beast at a time. I feel like The Witcher 3 is going to take me. I'm going to be playing The Witcher 3 for a while, but what I've decided is I won't be playing just solely Witcher 3. I'll stream Witcher 3. I'll try and aim for about once a week. I'll stream it, but I can't just talk about The Witcher 3 every week on this show because. Yeah, I mean, I probably will. I think I have to talk about something else.
Not about just that.
No.
Yeah, what used to be interesting for me is that you can acquire weapons quite early on in the game that are far too high a level for you to even use.
Yes.
But you can actually get them made. You can go to a blacksmith or whatever and get him to make these really cool weapons for you.
Yeah.
And then you have them in your inventory, but then that spurs you on to get more XP, so you can use that. Get leveled up, so you can use that because you want to use it because they look cool. And
there's also a perk. Cool. There's a perk for you can use items like that. Like you've not got the level for. But the reason why I said the leveling up thing is shit is not because like I've leveled up. Like I think I'm level 3. And something, and I found some of those like magic shrines or something. So I've got ability points, but I've got nothing to spend them on.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So I've only got 2 slots available, and one is it like mutator thing, and I've got a mutator.
Yep.
I filled my 2 slots, but I've still got 2 more agility points because I found this other agility point, and I can't spend it on anything. And the other slot unlocks when I'm level 4. So I'm getting these fucking points, and I'm like, I can't spend them.
Yeah, but you will do. So it doesn't take long. It's
frustrating though. I find that really frustrating that you've got these points to spend that will improve your character, and I can't spend them because I don't have a slot. Where it should be the other way around. I feel like I should have the slot, but I can't spend. I haven't got the agility points yet.
I think what's interesting, like Strokey McGinger, what I was saying about you can only get XP if it's the same level or higher than you, is. Early on in the game, go to the notice boards, get the side missions that are either your level. You can usually do the ones that are like 1 level above. So if you're like level 3, you could probably do a level 4 mission without too much trouble.
Yeah. Well, I was level 3 and I did a level 5 mission.
You can scrape through those as well.
It depends really what sort of mission.
Yeah. But it's worth doing those early on. Like I ignored a lot, and then that was the problem because when I sort of went to look at the side missions I had to do. They were all below my level, and that's why I didn't bother doing it, because you get like 2 XP or something ridiculous. It just gives you nothing. So it's get some of those side missions out of the way early on, along with some of the story missions, and then just do a bit of a mixture of both.
The question marks are just like random shit in the world, right? Is there any point doing all of them?
Definitely, because some of especially those treasure ones, because you can pick up early on in the game some maybe half-decent swords, half-decent bits of armor. Potions and stuff. It's definitely worth doing. So I wouldn't do all of them, but it is definitely worth doing some, especially the treasure ones. And you get gold as well, and obviously gold's really important. Another thing buy things, but another thing for a lot of the time early on in the game, you'll get all these. I think there's 2 types of currency. One's called an orin or something. I can't remember now. It's that long since I played it. And you can't use them for anything. And you're like, what the hell's all, what are these for? And it's not until you get to this major city and you can go to a bank and exchange them into a currency you can spend. So you're accumulating all this money that you can't spend anywhere.
Sacagawea. $1, you can change them at the bank for a real $1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just to let you know where I am in the story, I think I'm almost done with the first area. And my next mission is to go back to the old dude, who, you know, my master or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, we're gonna go to the next area to find that chick with the necklace."
The necklace.
So that's where I'm at. So
Is Sean Connery your mentor? That's interesting.
Yeah.
When does Sean Connery arrive at Wimbledon? Around 10ish.
That's good. Yeah, so I think I'm done with the first area. Is that right? Does that sound about right? Like 4 hours, 4.5 hours?
So it's so long to remember because
Do you feel like you was in the first area for very long?
I can't remember. I played it for about 100 hours. That's a long time ago.
It also depends on how many of the side quests you do. Like
Well, I mean, again, like Strokey McGinger says, question marks give you XP, gold, and items, and are easily done. So it is worth your time. If there's one nearby the road, just go and do it.
Yeah, I do. No, I have been doing them, but I'm just wondering, like, is this busy work? Am I just fucking around here?
There is a little bit of that, but it's
because some of them are quite hard. Like one of them was underwater. And it was these fucking, what do they call them, like floaters or whatever. Like, they look like little fishmen in gimp suits. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And they
Is it downers or drowners?
Drowners, I think it is. Yeah. Like the gimp suit men. They were like on the surface, like I can hack at them and they're pretty easy to kill. Underwater, it's like their territory, man. And
they're fast.
And I was getting fucked up, and I was like, I'm not going after that treasure. Fuck that shit.
Eventually, you have a way to fight underwater, but I don't think you start out.
No,
with
it's the crossbow.
I think I think what's cool about the drowners underwater as well, they're like they sort of circle you and they sort of come in for an attack and then like
you can see sometimes you can see their shadow and you're like fuck.
Yeah. This game is good. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're strategic. Like you're saying, it's cool that they make them easy on land and hard, and like you say, underwater in their territory. It's cool what they do.
So I'm grading an assignment where my students had to pick a song with lyrics and talk about the lyrics as a way to get them to talk about poetry. I thought, I'll randomly choose a song that one of the students analyzed, and I'll just start playing it on the show. Turns out it's from Persona 3. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
It's called Mass Destruction, Katia Joe version. If people know Persona 3, you're welcome.
I know Persona 3, and to be honest, most of Persona songs all sound the same. They all sound a bit like that.
Yeah. Well, I love it when Duke plays music on the podcast, because I always get like loads of emails after the podcast is up going copyright strike. I always get like about 10 of them.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, but like, we don't make money, so like no one cares.
Don't matter.
Yeah, suck it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, there's some weeks, because I see them as well, and some weeks we can get like 3 or 4, can't we?
Yeah.
For different things that he's played.
Also, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that sent me a bunch of messages while playing this game. I just got reminded because Pilch Reed sent me a message, but I think I got about 3 or 4 messages of people going, "What the fuck?" When I started playing The Witcher 3. So thanks. Anyway,
them then?
Fuck The Witcher 3. We've been talking about it way too long. Who's next?
Me. I'll go next. It's me, isn't it? I'm obviously still playing loads of God of War, so that's been the main game. Yeah, I've been playing this week, and it's good. It's very, very, very good.
It's good.
It's good. It's very good. Yeah, I've just finished the first area, so I'm outside of that now, going into the second area.
Spoilers, Stu. There's areas.
Yeah, sorry, there's areas. But what's kind of cool is, like I said last week, I just love trying to bloody work out how to get the chests open, because there's so like some of them you look at it and you're like, how do I get to that? And then it just dawns on you. Like I say, I just love the way that they've given a lot of thought, rather than just having random stuff you can just pick up anywhere in the world. Well, you do get a little bit of that. The major stuff, you've got to think about it. You've got to try and work it out and understand how you're going to get to it. And, you know, the really good chests have these letters on, and then there's like a puzzle that goes with the letters, and they're strewn around. You've got to work out how to do it. And sometimes it's timing. Sometimes it's just where they're situated. Sometimes you have to do something else first before you can get to the letters. And I love it. I just love it. The story's like cracking on a little bit now. Things are happening. Stuff's going down. And this feels like, and I think one of the reasons that I love this game so much is it feels a little bit like The Witcher in story and characters and, stuff that they're introducing, which is impressive. It's unbelievable that this game still feels like God of War, but like at the same time doesn't feel like God of War. Does that kind of make sense?
Well, in what way does it? I mean, are you saying it doesn't feel like the earlier God of War games?
No, yes, no, I guess. No, I'm trying to explain this in a way that's easy to understand. What it is, the gameplay is completely different. The way that
some things from the old games and they've given some new things.
Yeah, but it's obviously still very recognizable as God of War, but more or less everything else is totally different. You can see the influence of stuff like The Witcher 3. You can see this influence of things like The Last of Us. All those sorts of things are now in this game. And like I said, on numerous occasions, it feels like a really mature, grown-up game where I always felt that, like the original God of War games were a little bit juvenile somehow.
No, there's all the sex and beheadings. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, there's still that stuff there, but it just feels better.
It's a very mature form of beheading.
Yeah, or squashing of people or finishers, But it's just like it, as far as reboots go, this is, for me, so far, like in the last sort of 5 years, they rebooted all these different games. This, for me, is kind of the pinnacle of it at the moment.
Right.
I think this is like the best reboot that's been made so far. Because it just feels so different, but yet familiar. And I think that's what makes it so great.
Okay.
Love it. Honestly, it's definitely going to be up there as a Game of the Year contender for me, without a shadow of a doubt.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's superb. Honestly, if you got a PS4, you need to be playing this.
How many?
It is an absolute must buy.
How many hours are you in?
I reckon I'm sort of coming up to around 10 now. Sort of 8-10 hours,
And
which is
a third of the way through.
No, I feel like I'm hardly in the game at all.
It is about 30 hours though.
Yeah, 30 to 40. It's a big game. It is a big game. But what's interesting, I usually avoid, all the menial shit. But I'm spending a lot of time, like I say, trying to figure out how to get to every chest that I come across. And sometimes you can't get to them, so can be a little bit frustrating because it doesn't make it clear that you can't get to it. So you're trying to work out how to get there, but you have to pick up another skill before you can get to it.
Could your kid literally be doing anything when you're fighting these monsters? Like when you knock him down, he could go to him and just kick him in the face.
He does, I think.
Yes, he does do that. That's one of the skills on his. Yeah, that's one of the skills.
Man, I'm seeing him running back and forth out of the way.
No, he does early on, but then you can pick up a skill on his skill tree, and if you injure an opponent, he'll jump on the back and you start stabbing him in the neck and stuff.
That's cool.
So he does. He's absolutely brilliant because he is kind of an integral part of your combat, and you can direct him, or he can just kind of do his own thing. So he's super, super cool and independent, and he never ever gets in the way.
And he's also
Skyrim.
Yeah.
He's also well acted as well. I think.
He's pretty good.
He's not an annoying little shit like fucking Siri was at the start of.
Oh yeah, he's definitely better acted than Siri. But he's got to be because he's a massive part of the story and he does a lot of talking. You know what I mean? This character. Now, again, I don't know whether this is a kid actor or whether it's as in sort of Clementine, an adult playing a kid. I'm not really sure. I've not looked it up, so I don't really know who plays him.
I don't know.
But it's very, very good. All the voice acting is excellent. There's no real ropey voice acting at all. Script writing so far has been really good. Really good dialogue. It's a top game. There's no two ways about it, and it deserves every positive criticism that it's received, and every positive review. It's brilliant. Essential buy, really. You get a PS4. This is a console seller. This is the reason to buy a PS4, without a shadow of a doubt. You know what I mean? If you've been divvying and thinking about getting one, this is a reason to buy one. So there you go.
It is a child that plays him.
Is it?
And he looks exactly like him.
That's cool.
These students are picking good songs. Somebody picked a Jedi Mind Tricks track, and this dude just talked about the Logic song. 1-800 whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely a kid.
Yeah.
Or a very small adult.
No.
But good, really good actor. So, you know, well done to that. And yeah, I think
seeing this footage of the recording just makes me so sad.
Why?
Really, why?
Because they're wearing these little jumpsuits and they're wandering around in a big empty room. It just, I don't know.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah, this is why the voice acting's so good, though, because this was kind of developed by, you know, Uncharted and The Last of Us. That's how they did all of their acting. Rather than just someone in a sound booth reading off a script, they actually acted it out in real life, and that's how you got such great performances.
That performance there is that's how we fucking get great stories in video games.
Yeah.
I think that's how we get good acting in video games.
Well, like it's a step towards it, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as the script is good as well, you know, and the writing's well done, then you're going to get the best performances.
Somebody sitting at a computer staring at a blank.
Yeah, the writing's going to be great, but like good acting in video games. I don't. You can't.
That's fine. I don't know. Like I think of, you know, I remember Ian McKellen talking about when he was making the Lord of the Rings movies. Like he was standing by himself in some big green room. He's like, this is not why I went into acting.
Yeah,
it's just it's a different kind of acting. That's all.
But at least on that, you know, he's dragging him along on an actual sleigh that they built, and they put what looks like snow around and stuff like that to make it more realistic. So at least they're doing stuff like that.
It's no more different to when you think about, like, you know, like theatre and even on a movie set, you're always faking it. You know, it's always fake.
I know, but there's levels of faking it. You know what I mean? Like if we had plugs in the neck like the Matrix, would it be something where eventually you have actors who just sit in a chair and don't move, like, but they're creating the movement with their minds? I don't know. I don't know. There's something about it, and it's my personal problem. I'm not saying.
And they're also mocapping at the same time for the video game, so that's why they've got them funny suits on.
Yeah, we know what the funny, but what I think is it actually shows you how good these actors are when they do this and pull it off, and you know, because you play God of War, Stu, and you're convinced they're looking at what they're looking at and they're doing what they're doing and they're in the environment that they're doing. Whereas, you know, in reality, when you see, you know, but look, to be honest, Duke, look, that's most of Hollywood now, is you're in a fucking green room.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I just feel like I don't know, if I were an actor, that would drive me nuts.
Well, it is sort of going out of fashion. You know, the Star Wars, the Force Unleashed famously sort of brought it all back and you know, on shoot locations and practical effects. And so but people are sort of getting tired of, you know, all CGI. But the thing is with CGI is that it's so fucking good now that
of course.
It's very, very, very difficult to spot when it's in there. And I think that one of the best examples of fucking brilliant CGI is Mad Max. Mad Max, the Fury Road, is unbelievable. Because you watch Mad Max and you don't think about the special effects. You know, when you watch The Avengers, for example, or, you know, I haven't seen Infinity War, but you know it's all special effects. You know it's trickery. You know it's fake. And you know... Yeah. Whereas you watch Mad Max and you don't even... You think, oh, they must have found a location like that. And then you realise what they actually filmed was like just some fucking dirt road with no mountains on the side. Unbelievable what they did with Mad Max.
But the other thing we've got to remember is, you know, with video games, that's how it's always going to be, because there's no way to have those actors in the game. You can't
I know that.
You've got to do that.
I know that.
And it's the closest you can get, isn't it? By having them mocapped and in the same room to actually being inside the game doing the acting.
It also Chinny, this is related to you. Every time I hear somebody talk about an Avengers Infinity War, I think of that video you played once upon a time way back in the day of the really angry guy who used to attack trees or whatever, and he would go, "Infinity War!" And you had that as a sound.
Yes. Yeah.
And like every time I hear someone say it, I think Infinity War.
Yeah. That's funny that you bring him up, because I saw him. You know, when you go on your subscription feed on YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, I haven't seen that guy for years on my feed or anything like that, and then I opened on my phone because I subscribed to him, and a thumbnail, a recommended video of him, and I was like, fucking hell, like, they haven't tried to recommend a video from him for a long time. But I've been watching really on YouTube this week is James Randi stuff. I'm fascinated with James Randi at the moment, so. I totally recommend this game. Get it
bought, get it played.
Yes, God of
Do
War's very good. Yeah.
God of War is very, very good. Yeah, top game. And then the other thing I haven't mentioned is just how varied all the different environments are. There's a lot of sort of difference between different areas that you go to, which is really cool. Different art styles, different kind of stuff going on. It's just brilliant all around. Can't say enough great things about it.
Well, okay.
Amazing. Right, Duke, back to you.
Round robin. I have 2 games. I have 3 more games to talk about. One real quick. I have been playing Far Cry 4. I have been playing Battlefield 4. I have been playing Rocket League. I have been playing Skyrim. Yeah, I got Convenient Horses installed, and it changes the game completely now because they built it again from the ground up, and it has this stupid quest you have to go through. But whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Miscreated because I've had this on my wish list for a while. Never really been willing to pay much for it. I've been waiting for sales, and it gets to like $10, and I'm like, it's still too much. But this week there was a Humble Indie bundle, and I was like, ooh, okay. And it had this, and it had some game that looks like it wants to be missed, and it has this game with a big boulder on it that I didn't even bother putting in my game played list because it's just a game with a big boulder, and you have to maneuver it around and go off of ramps and stuff. But it also came with Miscreated. Beat the Average got you Miscreated and some other stuff too. And so I beat the Average, and I got Miscreated. And
okay.
Yeah, Miscreated is like if DayZ had base building in it.
Right.
But it's mostly DayZ, which means it's mostly running around and scavenging. And I played it for like half an hour, and I was so bored. I didn't run into any mutants. There's like zombie mutants apparently in this game, but I didn't run into any. I didn't run into other people, but that's okay because I was on a PvE server. Because everybody talks about it's kill on sight and whatever. I didn't want to have to deal with that. But there's not much in the game. It's just looking through the trash, and then, whatever. It was just so dull. And the mechanics were fine, and maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance, but it just feels like such a dull clone of DayZ. Like it is so uninspired. And apparently you can build a base, but I pulled some wood off of things. Like, you find, like a loading platform or whatever, and it says, take wood. And so I took the wood, and then I was like, well, how do you craft it into something? And apparently you need so much wood to craft it into like planks or whatever, which you can then use to make a shelter or something, that I was just like, that's going to take forever. And you don't have storage things. You can carry a certain amount, and that's it. So I was just like, I don't understand what I need to be doing here. And maybe I should find a quick start guide or something. But I watched a video, and it said, things you need to know for playing Miscreated. 1, search everything. Like, okay, duh. 2, play with a friend. I'm like, you're an idiot. 3, don't play alone. I'm like, now, first of all, that's the same as number 2. I said 4. Search the trash, search all the...
Yeah, so searching again.
Say right.
5, get a relative to come to your house to play with you.
Exactly.
6, play another game.
I uninstalled it already. I'm not even spending the time with it. I'm utterly disappointed.
It looks like it's a first-person Rust, but nothing's happening, which is saying a lot for Rust.
And the beautiful thing about Rust, though, is you grab a stick off the ground, you grab a rock, and you suddenly have a tool, right?
Yeah.
You can put them together to make a hammer. Not with this game, man. You just find you find rotten apples, and then soda pop.
It's like you're in a PUBG map, but with no one.
Right, pretty much. So maybe I should try a PvP server. Who knows? I don't know. Whatever. Not my thing. That's Miscreated.
I mean, dude on screen's got a katana. Did you not find one of those?
No, I found a police baton. But that's the thing. I had a police baton. There was no reason to use it. I was just hitting it against glasses and like glass windows. And like nothing happened. It wouldn't shatter the glass window. And I'm like, well, this is boring. I can't even break this window.
That's the thing. On the surface, Rust looks like you've got nothing to do. I mean, it looks the same as Rust.
Right,
but as you say, you literally have, you can pick up a rock, you smash some wood.
Yeah.
Lol, and then you can start building.
Exactly.
Whereas it feels like they're trying to be a little bit more realistic.
And maybe you can build in this eventually, but I'll find it out. So whatever.
You see, even in DayZ, I mean, I used to have a mate who played that all the time, and he said like from the minute you get on the map, there are zombies coming after you. He said you don't have any time to barely think.
I was ready for that in this. Like that would have been exciting at least. I might have been stopped playing it for a different reason, but I felt like this was just empty. And again, maybe I didn't play it long enough. Who knows?
It looks like a nice environment. I mean, it looks well done in graphically.
It's well done. And, you know, I didn't explore too much of the map, so this person on this is finding this tower, and you know, I mean, maybe it's a decent place to hang out in the tower, but I don't know. Whatever. That's miscreated. Who's next?
Back to Chinny, isn't it?
Chinny.
Did I finish Far Cry 5 last week?
Yeah, no.
Finished Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah, that's what
we did a spoiler cast. The spoiler cast will be out before this show, so everybody's.
No, you did finish it last week because you talked about what you thought about the ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I've been playing a bit more Golf Story. Working my way through that. I'm on like a beach sort of level now. And yeah, I don't know if I'm
giant sand trap. Is that what you're saying?
It is, yeah. A lot of it is bunkers basically, and it's all right. I am enjoying the game still. I won't say that I'm like hating it, but it you know, it does get a bit repetitive. No, I don't want to say repetitive because the quests are always a bit different, but it's a variation on the same thing. It's like instead of hitting these fucking things, you got to hit some crabs on the beach or something like that. But the course is harder. I feel like it is getting harder, the game, very slowly, and I'm wary about, you know, if it gets much more harder than it already is, I think I'm going to be fucked because I'm not very good at it. So that's why I played real golf today, and I've discovered that I'm not very good at that either. But
is this the first time you've played real golf, or have you been playing a bit?
No, I played real golf for. When did I start? Probably about 2006, 2007. I started playing golf.
And you're still not very good at it, is that?
No, I've never had lessons though. I've just it's always been sort of dicking about with Marsh, really.
So what's your average round then? What do you?
So that's the thing. We just sort of, it's more of a social thing, to be honest. And I never go with anybody else. Because like there's been a few opportunities to do like charity golf events at work and stuff, and I've always never done them. And a few of my mates are like, you know, they're all businessy types, and they're all like, yeah, it's a good laugh, Mike. You should play with us. A bit of networking. But first of all, I hate fucking networking. Second of all,
I was gonna say that's just not your thing, is it?
But I feel like, you know, at least, especially with men have to sort of bond over doing something. You know, women bond by just talking to each other, whereas men have to sort of like look, they have to stare at something else, don't they? They have to stare at a football game or a golf game. So I enjoy sort of networking events that isn't all about networking. Like, you know, award ceremonies and things like that are usually quite good for networking because you've got something to talk about. Whereas networking events where you're just fucking there just to swap business cards, I hate them. So I would. It's not that I wouldn't want to do a golf charity thing, but the reason why I don't do them is because I'm not very good. So I've always sort of wanted to have some private lessons.
So have you had pars on the holes? Have you managed to?
Oh yeah, I do get
the allotted.
Yeah, I get the odd par. We only played the 9-hole course that we played today is all par threes. It's not a big course, it's only a small course. So I've never played on there before, but we like the range and it's close to us. So we decided just rather than driving somewhere else, we'll drive there. We'll play there, and I got a couple of pars. I didn't, you know, I wasn't great. I mean,
you can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. Man.
Yeah, but like the other ones wasn't so great. I don't know. I never really play with anyone else, so I don't know if I'm good or bad. Sometimes I get it, I nail it. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. But it's a fucking hard sport. It's like snooker in that way, you know.
Oh yeah, it's difficult.
You've got with golf and snooker, you've got no one to blame but yourself. You know, you can't. You can blame the fucking grass. Is about as far as you can go. You know what I mean? Like, fuck this piece of grass. Snooker's so frustrating. I used to turn up to snooker matches thinking, I feel really good today. I'm going to play really well. I can't wait to play snooker tonight. And then you turn up and you play like a fucking idiot. And then there's been weeks where I turn up and I'm rushing and I've just got back from work and I'm not really thinking about it and I'm knocking, you know, big breaks and all that sort of stuff. So it's a frustrating game. I do enjoy it though, and you get a bit of a suntan. But anyway, Golf Story, the beach levels is good. it started to do something in Golf Story that it didn't really do before, where usually there's a few people giving you quests, and the quests are quite independent from each other. You know, they don't really overlap. Whereas in the level that I played just recently, the quest was there's all sort of intertwined. Like, this person would invite you to the party, but he needs some flippers. So you're like, where am I going to get flippers from? And then you talk to somebody else. He says, well, I'll give you some flippers, but you need to give me something sweet. And you're like, okay, what's that? And then, you know, so you got to, it's like everybody wants something.
Why would someone on a golf course have flippers?
I don't know. That's the entrance fee. I don't know. It's all very silly. It's all very sort of, you know, don't look too much into it, to be honest. What I do like about this level that I'm playing is there's a celebrity golfer on the course, right? And you're not allowed to go near him. His name is Max Yards, this celebrity golfer, and it's like every time you try and go near him, it's like yeah, you know, you can't. Sorry, he's got to concentrate and that sort of stuff. So obviously you can hit a golf ball towards him, because you can drop a golf ball wherever you want in this game, and you can hit him, and he's like, oh my god, da, da, da. So that's funny. But yeah, it's just a funny little thing, and there's obviously some way you've got to get in there, and I think the security guard says, sorry mate, can't let you in, but you know, I leave at 4:00. What time is it? So I think there's some way to sort of lie to him and say, oh no, you know, it's time to go. It's very silly, it's very funny. I like it. This is actually me playing on the screen now, so you can see how shit I am at it. But yeah, some of the things are quite hard. Like, you know, the wind's getting with this level in particular. There's lots of water, there's lots of sand, there's lots of wind, so it is getting difficult. So I'm just worried that it's going to get too difficult for me to fucking. I'm just going to throw it down and just be like, fuck this. Yeah, that's Golf Story. It feels like a long game though. It feels like it's been playing it for ages.
Well, you see, I was just going to say, it feels like you've been playing it for ages.
It does. But I only play it sort of little bits at a time, you see. So I talk about it on the show probably as long as I play it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I only play it like 15 minutes and then I put it down. Or I did have a bit more of a bigger session on it this week because I was sort of in between games and I wanted to stream it a little bit. So I thought I'll have a proper session of it and I'll put it on the big screen. So I always usually play it handheld. But I thought, no, I'll play it on the TV, and you get to see all the little details then of the characters and whatnot. So it's good. It's good. And Lewis just said in the chat, love Golf Story. Thanks for recommending it the other week. I'm loving it. So welcome, Lewis.
Yeah. No, it looks good. Like I said, I think if I get a Switch, or not if, when I get a Switch, I'll be definitely playing this. It definitely looks like my kind of game.
Yeah. You'd love it. Yeah, you'd love it.
Yeah, it looks very, very good.
It's very good.
Talking about my kind of game, I played and finished Marie's Room today.
Oh, yes.
Oh, snap. Was it your kind?
It was most definitely my kind of game. I have some minor criticisms of the game.
It's shit.
But, no, not at all.
It's boring.
The voice actor who plays the main narrator...
Is it Geralt?
I didn't feel was that great to begin with, but kind of grew on me as I played through the game. It kind of didn't seem quite as bad towards the end as it did at the beginning. I don't know whether that kind of makes sense with you, Duke.
Yeah.
Because she's not the best voice actor, and the one who plays Marie, but only for a little bit of the game, is really, really terrible. But thankfully, there's only a tiny bit of dialogue that Marie says, so that wasn't really a big issue. I quite like the structure of it and the way that it worked. I kind of like the way that it built up the story for you. Yeah. And I loved the ending. I thought the ending was very clever. I thought it was. I didn't see it coming. I thought, I knew what was going to happen, and then I was like, didn't see that coming.
Okay, I'm glad you liked it. I was utterly unimpressed.
No, I really liked it. I think it's fine. It's free. It takes about 40 minutes to play it, I guess. 40 minutes an hour. Yeah. So it doesn't take. It's not a very big investment of time, and it's a pretty good story. I thought the story was actually quite well executed, and I thought the way it was written was kind of cool. I had trouble at the beginning figuring out when it was set, because it's actually set in 2017, but the stuff in the room looks like it's from a long time ago. It was a bit weird. I struggled to understand when it was, because obviously all the journal entries are all like dated 2017, so that's when they were at school together. But then present day must be a long time in the future, like in the future. That's not happened yet for us.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's all grown up and stuff, and there are some like little touches like pictures on the wall that rotate around on their own, you know. And I know we have stuff like that now, but these are like big full-on pictures. So it was a bit futuristic in some ways, and I didn't quite get that, or the point of it. And then it was set in 2017. Yeah, she had a telly that looked like it would come out of like 1985, and it kind of didn't make any sense. And I was like, why has she got this really old telly that wouldn't even get a
fancy one?
Yeah, but you wouldn't even get a signal now on that. You know, it wouldn't work. It's analog. Everything's digital. It was just weird. Some of the art style was weird.
Yes.
Didn't get it. But I thought that
shit.
No, not at all. I thought the actual story was kind of cool. I thought it was an interesting story, and I like the way that it, you know, slowly fills up the journal, and you know, every time you discover something else in the room, it adds a journal entry. And there's really only two what you would call actual gameplay parts of the game where there's actually a puzzle involved.
And then when you turn.
And then when you what? Sorry.
When you turn it off.
What, the game?
Yeah, when you stop playing the game. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, well, each to their own, I guess.
Each to their
but whereas Duke says don't play it, I say give it a go. Give it a whirl.
There you
give
go.
It a whirl. Marie's Room, it's on Steam for free.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's an hour. It's fine.
It's an hour of your life you'll never get back.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's an hour I could be playing The Witcher 3 with.
Duke's just a Debbie Downer.
Would you rather Chinny play The Witcher 3 or spend an hour playing this?
I think you could spare an hour to play this in between.
You would not like it, Chinny.
No.
You could be wrong. You could be wrong.
But I really don't think there's any reason
if you two were going, this is brilliant, I was well into it. There, if you both were saying that, I'd be like, okay. But if just one of you's going, this is brilliant, and the other one's going,
yeah, but you know what?
This is
you know what Debbie Downer Duke is, don't you?
Yeah, but like if you would do it, if you were the one that were Debbie Downer about it, and Duke was raving his praises, I would still be wary. I'd be like, well, if there's a disagreement, but if you both agree on something, I'll be like, well, fuck it, I better play something if they both agree. I don't think there's been a game that you. I'm trying to think. Has there been a game that you both agree is brilliant and I hate?
No, and I said Red Dead, but obviously until the last bit that you hate and we both liked.
Yeah. There are games where we all think it's very rare, but there are games that exist.
Yeah, where we all think it's great.
We all think it's great, but I don't think there's a game where you two think it's brilliant and I think it's shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hard pushed to think of it.
So that's what I'm saying. If you both think it's good, then that's when I would go, okay, time for me to play it.
Yeah. You're probably right. I can't think of anything, but you wouldn't. Actually, there is a reason you wouldn't like this game, Chinny.
Reading,
because you have to read a lot. There is a lot of voice acting, to be fair.
I have done my reading quota for this week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you've got to read the book when you fill it up.
It's interesting. I was listening to the Boss Wave podcast, and talking about who likes what game, and when you say you like a game, Pilch said that I usually agree with Chinny. It's quite interesting when someone says that about you.
Well, he isn't gonna, because he hates The Witcher 3 from what I can remember.
Oh, does he? Well, I think
he does. I'm almost sure he does.
Maybe he'll reach a point where he.
Well, yeah, but you never know. Like, you might hear me. You might hear me talk about it and go, actually, I usually like things like that. But it's just I've had that said to me before. Like, I usually agree with Chinny when I listen to the show, and I find it so bizarre when someone goes. I suppose I find it really weird that someone buys a game because I said it was good. I find that really strange.
Oh my God! I just had this crazy idea for a story. I'm sorry.
Oh God!
I gotta write it down.
Write it down. Don't forget it. Write it down.
Don't forget. Write it down right now.
Lesson. Don't worry.
I know. But yeah, Marie's Room. It's free on Steam. Give it a whirl. There's nothing to lose. There you go.
Except
Ginny, anything from you, or Duke? Anything else from you?
Nothing from me.
Yeah, I got Jenny.
Come on, Duke.
No, I'm done.
I need to write down the story idea. I can't find my story idea.
What's your journal?
Oh. Here, I'll write it on this scrap of paper and then put it on the thing later.
Yeah,
Sorry, hang on a second. Story idea.
Read it out loud so someone can steal it.
No,
it's
don't get
got to
to
be
know.
something about two people hating one thing or two people liking something and another person hating it. Maybe it's that.
No, it's not anything to do with any of that. It was something sparked by something in the Marie's room, but
Something. Oh, see, it has been good for something.
Yeah.
it has been. That's true. I now have some. I'm not completely miserable about the fact, but I didn't notice it when I played the game. It was just looking at that video. Okay. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Simi Boy, who gifted me Prismata. And I didn't ask for it. He didn't owe me anything. It was just this game showed up. You've got a gift from whoever. And I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. Let me know who it was that gave me this, and I appreciate it. Because then I went to the store. Like, if it's not on my wish list, I always go to find out, like, how much did this person spend on me? I hope it was in a bundle. Holy shit, it's $25?
Yeah.
This been in a bundle, but it wasn't. And I sent him a message on Steam. Hey, what's up with this? And he goes, oh, it's I just really love the game and I want other people to try it.
There you go. Look at you.
Well, I appreciate that, but the pressu's now on, like, what if I don't like it much?
What if you hate the game?
That's
What
the
if it's
thing. Like
terrible?
when someone buys you a game, like when Rebel Rob bought me Hotline Miami, I was worried. Like I was, what if I fucking hate this game? And luckily, I love it.
This game is actually very good. It's what kind of game is it? It's a RTS mixed with Magic the Gathering. So it's sort of like you've got cards. Not RTS. It's turn-based. But it's, you're fighting someone else, but not on a one-to-one basis. It's like you have cards that will generate money, you have cards that will generate power, you have cards that will generate defense, and you have to use those resources to build other things and then use those things to fight the robots, and they're going to attack you, so you have to build walls to absorb their damage and this and that. And it's a very interesting concept. There's some good humor, so you basically play as this guy who's been working at this robot company for 20 years or something, maybe 5-10 years, and you're real bored all the time. There's never anything to do. All you do is drink all day. And so one day it's like, I'm gonna go get drunk, and then someone goes, there's robots killing people, and you're like, oh, finally something to do. So it's pretty tongue-in-cheek. It's fun. It's kind of weird. There's a very long, there's a campaign mode that's showing you the ropes. And when you play a strategy game in a campaign mode, I always feel like you talk about holding your hand, like the resources it gives you in the campaign mode obviously are just enough if you play your cards right, literally in this case, to win the scenario that you're fighting in. And it's kind of hard, I think, to screw it up. You know what I mean? Because they've given you everything you need. And
it's kind of a tutorial, really.
Right, but it's a really long tutorial. Like, I played it for about an hour, and I got through 2 chapters of the tutorial out of maybe 20.
Wow.
So feels like there's a lot of that. And maybe I should just say, to hell with the rest of the campaign mode. I'm just going to go play a game,
Maybe there's a lot to learn.
Well, that's the sense I get, is that there is a lot to learn. But all the reviews said, I started off playing this casually, and then I just can't stop. So, when I wake up, I want to keep playing this game. Now, I'm not addicted to it like that, but I am having fun with it. So I am going to keep playing it. And more than anything, the game is very polished. So the graphics aren't breathtaking, but everything works well. The sound is good. The music is good. The graphics are fine. It's not anything remarkable, but the beauty of the game is not in the way it looks. The beauty in the game is in the way it plays, and it plays very well. So, yeah, I'm liking it. Prismata.
It reminds me of Hearthstone. I don't quite know. Hearthstone is one game that I shouldn't like. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like elves and shit.
Right.
But I have to say, when I only played it for about a couple of weeks or so, but I could have fell into that game pretty hard.
The sense I get is that this has much less luck involved. One of the things that turned me off to Magic and Hearthstone is that, you're pulling cards from a deck, and like whether you can win the battle or not, at least in part, has to do with whether you get good cards.
Yes.
Now you need to know what to do with them, obviously, but that just bugged the shit out of me with Magic, because I wanted to like it and I did get into it for a little while, but video game, not actual cards. But it's so irritating that if I pulled a whole bunch of crappy cards, there's nothing I could do as a person, and I get enough of that in real life. I don't really.
So don't you like things like poker then and stuff like that, Dick? For the same reason?
I do because you can fold.
True. What about like, I suppose, lesser games where you can't like rummy or some, whatever.
Yeah, I stick to poker most of the time. Like blackjack has very limited appeal for me.
I don't like blackjack. I'm not a massive fan of blackjack.
Because I feel like poker is equal parts luck and skill, and you can, if you end up with shit cards, you just fold right away, and it's like, okay, if I had to answer, okay, fine, but whatever.
We should play poker. We should play a poker game.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with me. I don't play poker.
You don't play poker, Stu?
No, never played really. I used to play 3-card brag when I was a teenager, for pennies and stuff. But that was kind of about the extent of it.
Oh,
I know the basic rules of poker, but I've never really played.
We used to play.
All you gotta remember is a pair beats a royal flush.
Yeah, I know how it works. I know what beats what. But it's just not something I've ever played.
We used to.
Sorry, go ahead.
We used to play 1-card stab at my school.
Yeah, I've done that as well. Yeah.
So
one card turnover.
No, 1-card stab was if somebody gets a better card than you, stab them.
Wow, it's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, these
growing up in Wolverhampton, man.
These teachers, they try and put a cap on this. They ban Pogs and they ban British Bulldog and stabbing people.
I don't know why. I mean, it's just a bit of a bloody nanny state, isn't it? Really.
Alf Pogs.
Stabbing someone, who cares? It's fine.
It's all good.
There we go. Sound clip.
I got some cool pogs. Elf pogs. Remember Elf? He's back in pod form.
I got well into Pogs when they came out. I was about...
It's no wonder. No wonder Donald Trump's accusing the UK of being into knife crime, is it, when you're stabbing people with cards?
That shit. Can we move on?
Pogs are great.
Yeah.
Chris in the chat. Chris in the chat said, "Did you play Gwent in The Witcher 3?"
Have you played any Gwent?
I did play Gwent in The Witcher. You can play it early on in the bar.
Yeah, you have to as part of the story.
You can skip it. No, you can skip it.
Oh, did you? I played the first time.
No, I played it, and I have no idea what the fuck went on. I didn't understand it, and I struggled with it. But I feel like I would play it again because I do like cards, and I do like Hearthstone.
I never played Gwent in The Witcher 3,
apart
from the one time.
I played loads of poker in Red Dead. I played like an unhealthy amount of poker in Red Dead. So yeah, I feel like I don't know. I always worry about sort of made up games. Like I never got what was the fucking game in Fallout New Vegas? What was that? Was it Caravan or something like that? Or
fuck that shit.
What was it?
Caravan. Yeah.
Was it Caravan? I never got it.
Bother learning how to play.
I never got it. I really, when it's a made up game, in Red Dead it was poker, so it was literally right poker. Fine, I play poker. What I loved about that is like if you try and steal or bluff or something, like they have a shootout with you, which is brilliant. Why hasn't there been a poker game where they do that? Like it's just so fun. Yeah, so I love that about Red Dead, where it's like, you are literally playing poker in Red Dead. Like someone could kill you if you try and steal their card or cheat and stuff. I thought that was great. But yeah, made up games in video games are a bit wary because they're sort of just making up a game for the sake of it. Where I know Gwent is popular and it's its own separate thing, so I'm willing to probably give it a go. If they made it its own game, I am sort of thinking, maybe it's decent. I know, remember Fable pub games? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I played that. Yeah, I played that because they released the pub games thing before Fable 2 came out.
They did. Yeah, they released it as a prelude, didn't they, to the game?
Yeah, it was a free sort of like try this out before, and I thought, what a great way to introduce you to the game before the actual game's released, because then you could get used to the made-up game in the game, and when it pops up in the game, you can play it. And I think I played pub games more as just a standalone game than I did in the actual game. But
they did. Well, they did the opposite with Gwen, didn't they? Because obviously they released it as a game after The Witcher 3 came out.
Yeah,
standalone.
I'll be willing to try it again. I sort of understood what was going on, but I wasn't quite sure of the currency and you know, like why I lost, and because you have to sort of pass your turn. I wasn't quite sure because do you just you spend a certain amount of cards.
Don't ask me. I only played it once.
It's really strange, the game. Like, you know.
I did try. I did try the standalone version and still couldn't get my head around it. So I was like,
it's really weird. My dad plays bridge, so I can't understand bridge. Like my dad plays bridge online every day, and I have no fucking clue what he's doing. I try to understand bridge. Bridge is really difficult.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to talk about a game that I feel is kind of some sort of con, but I'm not entirely sure how it is a con.
Okay.
Which is, there's a new app come out in the UK in the last few weeks called HQ Trivia. Have you heard of this, Chinny?
Yes.
Now, I feel like it's got to be some sort of con, but I'm not entirely sure how it works as a con.
Why do you think it's a con?
I don't know, because we're already getting the money from that. They're just giving away every day. No one pays. There's no adverts in the apps.
I think
There's nothing that generates revenue.
I think there is. So just to explain, HQ, the trivia app it's kind of like 1 versus 100, but on an app. And it's not 1 versus 100. It's like how many people sign up.
1 versus 190,000.
There's an actual host. And I know he's done quite well out of it. He's a comedian, I think. I can't remember his name.
Well, no, it's a woman normally. So that
no, like the original host was a chap, but I think he left, and everybody loved that guy, and no one likes the girl.
Called Shaz. She's called Shazia.
So this person is a real host. That they are actually there live, and they ask you questions and. You got to guess it. Yeah,
Basically, there's 12 questions, and at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock every day, they have a prize pot, and whoever gets all 12 questions right shares the pot, basically.
Yeah.
So, like today, for instance, at 3 o'clock, it was £8,000 they had in the pot. So, if only one person gets all 12 questions right, then they get £8,000, basically. But there's no real sense of where the money comes from because there's no adverts in the game. You don't have to pay. It's totally free to download and play. So
I know it's not a con.
No, I'm sure it isn't. But it just, my suspicion is that they're building up a big player base and then they're going to introduce something further along the line that'll make the revenue, once they've got a big install base.
That's possible.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I'm not quite sure how. I think it's adverts based in America.
There's no adverts in the game.
In America. In America.
It's not. It's only in the UK, as far as I'm aware.
No, it's in America.
Oh, is it in America?
It's been in America for a while.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that, but. It's cool though. I must admit, it is quite exciting to play this thing, and it is that sort of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing, where you've got to get all 12 questions right on the bounce, and it's amazing, because it tells you how many people pick the wrong answers, and for instance, today one of the questions was, which of David Beckham's sons has a name in common with an American city? Okay,
Paris,
and obviously it's Brooklyn. But one of the choices was Butlins, the holiday camp, and something like 3,000 people picked Butlins as his name.
I would have no idea about that. So I might that just because I have no idea.
No, but that's obviously tailored to an English audience. But obviously in America, I'm assuming the questions will be tailored to an American audience.
Yeah, but I don't know fucking Jay-Z's kid name either.
No, but it's free to play. You can win cash for doing nothing more than answering 12 questions, which takes the whole show lasts about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But the guy who's developed it says he thinks this is the future of TV. Is these sorts of apps where they're actually live and interactive. But I don't know. It is cool, and my daughter's already addicted. Today at 3 o'clock, it's like, right, we've got to play. And you get it on, and he does this cool countdown, and he builds up the tension, and you can see there's a chat going on at the bottom. You can see how many people are playing, and this afternoon at 3 o'clock there was 185,000 people playing. you know, when the game started. So it's enormous, you know, it is massive. A lot of people are sort of logging in to play this thing. So it's a very clever concept, and the questions are tricky, you know. We got to question 6 today before we failed. So we got halfway through, but you know they do get increasingly more difficult as the game goes on. But what's kind of cool, obviously, after you drop out, you can carry on watching. So you can see how many people win at the end, and you can see what questions come up. And some of the later questions, like, oh, no, the answer to that. I knew the answer to that one.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth a look. If people haven't heard of this, you know, get it downloaded because it's free, and you can win some cash for doing nothing but answering questions. But
do you want to earn £600 a week by sitting at home?
I know, yeah. Just playing them.
One crazy trick to get out of your horrible job.
But you only get about 8 seconds to answer the question, so there's no chance that you could Google it or use Alexa or any of that malarkey. You know, it's very difficult to cheat. You know, so they've obviously considered all of that stuff, what people would try to do to, you know, cheat the game, as it were. But I don't think that would be easy to do. But it's worth a look for free, and you know, you can earn some cash.
Did you know that 100% of homosexuals are gay?
There you go. Have you got anything else, Duke?
Yes, I have one more game. Because there was a sale on the newest game in the series called Kingdom. And I think the new game is called Kingdom New Lands or something like that. And I was like, a lot of positive reviews, and I was like, huh, it looks kind of interesting, but I've never played the original. Maybe the original's even cheaper. And sure enough, ka-ching! The original was also on sale for like $1.50. So I was like, well, shit, I'd be losing money if I didn't buy it.
Shit, I'd be a damn dang fool if I didn't do it.
Fuck this game, I'm buying it.
Shit, man, boy, you better buy it.
Kingdom is a very simple game. You are a king or a queen.
Not as simple as me.
Shut up.
Wow, you can't tell me to shut up for shit.
So I think it picks randomly whether you're a king or a queen, and you have
no
a crown
queen,
on.
boy.
That's going to be important that you have a crown on. You're on a horse. You have coins that you pick up as you ride around.
Is this The Witcher 3?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
You're on a horse. You have coins.
You use the coins to build, like, okay, you start by going to it's all desolate, and you start by going to
Is this The Witcher 3? It's all desolate.
Imagine how you would feel if you were trying to talk and I made sound happen.
Yeah.
You'd be annoyed.
Yeah. I fucking would, mate. Yeah.
So you start by lighting a fire, and then you have coins, and you use the coins to recruit people to work for you in your kingdom. So they start by hanging out near the fire, and then you get more coins, and then you use them to buy bows and arrows. And the people that you recruit pick up the bows and arrows, and they will automatically attack monsters when they come to visit you. And then you get other coins when they attack monsters, and then use those coins to build walls, and then you can use other coins to build like fortifications. You can improve the fire that you've built into like a proper, keep basically for your, kingdom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I've played it for like half an hour. I've died 3 times because I suck at this game.
Yeah.
And I think I'm trying to adventure out more than you're supposed to. You're supposed to stay in your kingdom and just gather the coins and stuff. But it's kind of boring because you have to wait until the next day for the coins to really show up. So while you're waiting, there's not much to do.
No.
And as a result, I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to go adventure beyond the
I like the idea that you never come off the horse.
Yeah.
Because then I start to think, does he like shit when he's on the horse? Does he have a shower when he's on the horse?
Let's get some real answers to these questions, developers. Come on. Yeah, it's cool because there's definite progression. As you keep going, you'll expand your kingdom further and further. The graphics are very nice.
They are nice.
But it looks good, yeah.
Yeah. What's weird about this game is, as you're describing it, I'd imagine the listeners at home or in their car or shaving a baby, whatever they're doing, they're probably imagining, like an RTS isometric view. But it's not, is it, Eric?
It's a 2D game. You're just going left and right.
Left and right.
And assigning coins to different areas in your kingdom. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole game.
That's what I find odd about it, is that it's just a side-scrolling game.
Part of why I bought it was because I wanted to know how they did it. You know what I mean? Like, the description made it sound like there's no gameplay involved, but there obviously is. It's not a whole lot of gameplay.
And you played it and worked out, oh no, there's not any gameplay.
There's very little gameplay.
But it's interesting because like you build up a little world, but like you don't have to micromanage the people.
Nope.
You know, the people are just sort of like, yeah, okay, and they'll just follow you and do whatever.
I want to build an archer tower here, and then they build it, and then someone comes in and staffs it.
And staffs it up.
Yep.
You're like the overseer. You're the visionary.
Exactly.
And you've got other people like managers and stuff below you doing all the shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Good.
So yeah, it's fun. I'm having a good time with it. I'll play it more. Yep, that's Kingdom.
Yeah, sounds like capitalism at its finest.
Exactly.
There you go.
Anybody else got any other games?
I have, but I'll save it till next week because we've got a lot of emails to get through. Because somebody decided to tweet out, send us emails, and we got a lot.
You sound very ungrateful.
I'm not ungrateful at all, but we've got stuff to get through. And possibly only super quick news, I've got to say, tonight. Only super quick news.
No, since we're already an hour and a half in.
Exactly. Super quick news, Chinny, do it.
Or not. We could just skip the news and come to it next week.
Nah, just do some super quick news. Just read the headlines. It's fine.
Go ahead, Chinny.
Super quick news.
All right, here we go.
Rockstar released a new trailer for Red Dead. Guess what? It's gonna be fucking good.
It looks good, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
And then people go, I want to think gameplay. Where's the gameplay at? Like, when do they ever show you gameplay? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shit.
Just fucking buy it. You know,
the trick is that is gameplay.
Don't give them what they want. There were some elements in that trailer. People were saying like, "Where's the analysis trailer, Chinny?" I'm like, "Fuck off! Only 5 people watch it."
Fuck you.
No, I've got like the EGX video I still haven't fucking made. Yeah. The trailer looks great. I have not looked into it as avidly as some people because I'm gonna buy it. Look, I don't care about the fucking trailers. I just want to buy it. Okay. But
breakdown of that trailer then?
Nah.
Many other Rockstar games?
Say again?
As you have done for many other Rockstar games?
Nah, I don't have the time to do it right now. I feel like I'm editing the EGX video. I was editing the Far Cry 5 spoiler cast. I want to play God of War for the next spoiler cast.
And he's playing Witcher 3.
And I'm playing The Witcher 3 and Life. And, I'm learning some new songs on the guitar because Tara's brother wants to do an open mic and all. So I've got lots of things to do. Right, next. Activision is keeping an eye on Fortnite's success on mobile. Says it was impacted by the game's success. Okay, good for them. PUBG halts personal item trades. I have to say the news is a bit shit this week, apart from Red Dead.
There's not a lot. There weren't a lot. It's a good job we had loads to talk about, to be fair.
Yeah, there's nothing really. There's nothing. That's it. Fuck the news.
You've missed the biggest bit of news. What's the matter with you?
What?
What's the matter with you?
What?
Just say it, Stu. Stop waiting for Chinny to stumble upon it.
Sweary's new game, The Good Life, got funded on Kickstarter. And I'm a backer.
What are you talking about?
Sweary's the guy who made fucking
Deadly Premonition.
Next, moving on.
But yeah, I'm a backer. I back this game. I'm getting a copy when it comes out next year. So there you go. It's the first ever game I've backed on Kickstarter, by the way.
So that's news? I thought you did this a while ago.
No, but it's hit its goal.
It failed. It failed the first time around, and he redid it on. He did it on something else the first time, and then he's redone it on Kickstarter and got it funded this time. So, and I'm not sure whether he got to it, but there was a stretch goal to get it on the Switch. So there you go. So maybe on the Switch. I have played a demo, but I'll talk about it next week because I want to play it a little bit more before I talk about it.
Okay.
So he did release a demo for the game. So I will talk about that next week. And that's it for Super Quick News. Done. News is done.
Done.
Yeah, done. So, time for some... Whoa, that ruled. What is with your brother? Mike just suddenly sending a speak pipe at this time.
Why not?
I know. I'm just gonna do this first before I start the emails. There you go. I'll send it on to you,
okay,
Duke. So that's coming your way. And then
Hey,
on
and
that
if
note,
you want to send an email, because Stu will literally read fucking every word of every email.
I have to freaking read every email, don't? Because people send these in.
So if you want your 5 minutes of mad, famous craziness, because as soon as you get an email read, you get drugs thrown at you, like just everything. Just it's all changes. Your life just changes. So if you want your email read, email us. Go on our website, click the contact thing. You can do it that way or whatever, and then you get your email read.
A lot of podcasts will say, send us emails, name of email address. That's it. Not our show.
No, just because
we're gonna have a 5-minute description of what happens when you send.
Go
us
to https://www.
www. Right, first email is from Peter Robinson, or Peter Robson, sorry, should I say? Sorry about that. Peter Robson. He says it's podcast retirement. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Have you any podcasts that you would like to bring out of retirement? I used to listen to the PSM3 off the disc pre-iPod. Maybe a touch of rose-tinted specs, but I was quite sad when it ended. My other favourite Dead podcast was Pilch's interview episodes. It was really interesting to listen to, now deleted from podcasting history. Thanks as always, Pete. So, podcasts you used to listen to that are no longer available anymore?
Yes, I have two. One is Politically Reactive with W. Kamau Bell and Hari Kondabolu. That was a great show. I think they just got busy with other things, and so they don't do it anymore. And then Two Dope Queen. It was a news or current affairs, but they had really good interviews, and they were just both very funny. And then Two Dope Queens is a comedy podcast with Phoebe Robinson and Jessica Williams, and they got picked up by HBO. So apparently it's like a TV show now, and everybody loves it, but I can't watch it because I don't have HBO. And so my Two Dope Queens, I have a pin on my jacket, and I still have it on my podcast thing, but I just can't listen to it because it doesn't exist anymore.
I have two. One is Three Red Lights. It used to be the old Xbox IGN podcast, and they didn't really give a shit, so they called their Xbox podcast Three Red Lights, and they had to interview people, representatives of Microsoft, and go, what's the name of your podcast? Three Red Lights, which is very good.
Brilliant.
Hillary Goldstein, Eric Brudvik, and I think it was David Clayman was the hosts, and they would always make me laugh. I love them, but they've all left IGN and gone their separate ways. And the other one would be The Bugle, but with John Oliver on it, because he left. I don't listen to The Bugle since he left. I fucking love John Oliver. I love him. And
have you seen him, his HBO show?
I watch it all the time. Yeah, that's how I know anything that's slightly interesting is because of.
I like some people that Andy Zaltzman has on now on The Bugle, but I wish he'd just pick one person, because it's good to have variety, I suppose, but I like it when I know what to expect. You know what I mean? Yeah,
podcasts that rotate hosts, you just can't get on with them, can you?
It's just a little irritating.
It's just irritating. Like, other gaming podcasts, I don't know if we know any that rotate their hosts regularly.
Yeah, you just don't get used to anyone, do you?
Just don't. If you want quality, stick to the same three.
Quality.
Anyway,
I've got a few actually. One will be One Up, or One Up Yours, as it turned into, and then it turned into something else. But in the very, very early days, I really liked One Up, and I always thought they were very scathing. They were very honest. I never felt like they sold out or were being influenced by publishers or developers to say what they wanted them to say.
I missed the One Up podcast. They did Weekend Confirmed as well after that.
That's right. Yeah,
and that was decent as well. But yeah, One Up was like, I forgot the name of the main chap in it. I forgot his name now. And then he'd have another guy called Shane Bettenhausen on, and he was such a smart guy, and he ended up working for on BioShock Infinite.
It was the other guy I liked the best. He had like a bit of an Australian accent, but I can't think what the hell he was called now.
I don't know.
But he did that massive thing about GTA Online and sort of talked about sort of all this, like, people sort of being road sweepers and all that kind of stuff.
I made a video about that, didn't I?
San Andreas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was his talk about it.
That's Shane Bettenhausen.
No, it wasn't. Shane was a different guy. No, this was another guy who was like Australian. It was kind of
No,
had this weird
that was Shane
Australian accent.
Bettenhausen, the person that
Was that
described-
Shane?
Yeah, that's Shane Bettenhausen.
I thought it was him.
I
But
edited.
anyway.
I edited that video. Trust
But
me.
anyway, that was cool.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool.
Yeah.
So one up would be one. Another one would be Sarcastic Gamer before they got too big and thought they were really clever and that they could do all these other different shows that no one gave a shit about. And they kind of just imploded.
I listened to them for a bit. What happened to them?
They just imploded. They just got too big and thought they were this like bigger than everything.
Because the guy who started all that, that's what Extra Life is. He started.
Yeah, they started Extra Life as a charity thing on one of their shows.
Yeah.
For charity. So good stuff came out of it, but they just kind of, I think they kind of fell out with each other and stuff. But they just got too big. They had the Blue Show, the Red Show, the fucking Listener Show. They had all this stuff, and they just kept.
Yeah, they had
stuff.
like a British one. They had like one that was all female, and one PlayStation.
And they had like the Pink. That was the Pink Show, wasn't it? The female one.
Yeah.
And they had like adverts on, and they were obviously making loads of cash off it. And they were the first really massive podcast I remember listening to. That was like seemed bigger than just average Joe doing a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be kind of cool if it was just like it. The moment I stopped listening was one year they did this Christmas special where they tried to make it like a play, where they were in the office and all this stuff, and it was just shit.
Wow.
And it just was not funny at all. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I just unsubscribed, and that was the last time I ever listened to it.
There you go.
So yeah, that. And the other one I'd like to come back in its more original form was the original Ricky Gervais podcast.
Yeah.
When there was just him, Al Pilkington, and whatnot, and just talking about stuff.
Monkey News.
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I've listened to those over and over the years. Like I think of those as kind of like comedy albums now that I can just enjoy.
The funniest bit I always remember is when he was saying about sending a goat to Africa, when Carl Pilkington's talking about sending a goat to Africa.
Think of what you get for a goat, milk. Why don't they just send in a bottle of milk?
Yeah, so funny.
And
funny.
I love the monkey. One of my favorite thing about Monkey News is when they were right before Carl ended it, because he's like, "There's no more Monkey News happening." Okay, Carl and Ricky Steve and Ricky would try to head off before Carl gets to the part with the monkey in it. He'd talk about, there was an airplane, and they're like, yeah, the interesting thing about airplanes is you have to have two pilots, and Steve would be like, 2 human pilots. Of course you have to have human pilots. Why would you even say that?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, the woman wanted nuts and there were no more nuts. She said, you just brought some nuts into the cockpit. He's like, oh, and then he opens the door and it's a human pilot eating nuts, right? That's just what happened, right?
It's a shame that Ricky and Steve don't really work together anymore.
I know, right? That just breaks my heart. But I mean, whatever.
It's sad, but
groups break up for whatever reason.
Well, Steve Merchant talked about it, and he described it how Hugh and Laurie used to be always Fry and Laurie, Hugh Laurie, isn't it? Fry and Laurie, they were a comedy duo for years on British television, and one of the best as well. They were so funny, so clever, and people got so used to seeing them together. Then all of a sudden, like, they did separate projects away from each other, and now people probably don't even realise that Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie are best friends and worked together for years and went to university and everything.
They've gone in different directions with
very different directions, and I feel like the same has happened with Ricky and Steve. I'd imagine they're still friends, but Steve Merchant,
apparently there was really bad blood there at the end. So
was there?
From what I understand, yeah, I think they.
Yeah, well, that's a bit like thing, is it? Peter Kay and what's the other guy called?
Paddy McGuinness.
No, the other guy, the one with the thingy. Is it Starkey, the guy with the blonde?
Oh, Jerry the Berry.
Is it Dave Starkey or something like that? But he co-wrote all the Phoenix Nights with Peter Kay. But then there was a lot of bad blood, and they stopped being friends altogether.
I didn't know Ricky and Steve fell out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I just remember hearing it. And Carl, like the three of them, just all went their different ways, and I heard that it was kind of nasty at the end. And I mean, they were pretty brutal to Carl, so I'm not surprised that Carl eventually said, "Fuck this! You keep sending me to like go into volcanoes and shit. Like I'm sick of it."
But I feel like without Steve, Ricky's like sitcoms lack the sort of the structure of a good sitcom. Whereas
That's his maybe. I think Derek is his best work in a way. I mean, obviously The Office is
I
what
don't
it is.
know.
I didn't like.
I
Derek at
like
all.
Derek. I do like Derek. But I feel like Steve is there for this. I mean, I think Ricky creates fantastic characters, not just for himself, but for other people. Like characters that you look at and go, I know exactly someone like that. Whereas I feel like the path that those characters take and the pacing, like for example, the David Brent movie, it recovers so quick. Like everybody hates him for like 80% of the movie, and then at the last 20%, everyone's like, "Well, he's not a bad guy." And I just thought that's such a cheap get out. Whereas I felt like
I think his work went downhill after he parted ways with. I mean, with the exception of Derek, like his latest stand-up is just not very good.
I liked his latest stand-up. Actually, I think he's all right as a stand-up. I don't think
he has this moment. I don't know. I think whatever.
He relies a lot on shock value. I think Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
but
well,
I enjoy it. I think he's brilliant stand-up. I think his last stand-up, Humanity, is more like a stand-up show than he's ever done. It feels like he is actually talking.
I like the earlier stuff because it's not a sort of conventional stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
All right.
Anyway.
We got
more emails. Strap in, people, because Jason has been at the typewriter. Good God. Anyway, he did apologise on a second email saying that it was probably a bit long. But anyway, here we go. The email is entitled "Let the Right One In."
Okay.
Right. I'm going to take a deep breath and then I'm just going to go for it. Here we go.
Why does it take you so long to start?
Because it's massive, man. I've got to read ahead a bit, then I'm not sort of stumbling over my words, you see. So I'm reading the first paragraph before I start reading it, if that kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Makes no sense. But anyway, go on.
Just read it.
Here we go. I started Senua's Sacrifice the day before Christmas. Soon after, I had to put it down like you would a bleeding deer. The game was dying on me and I wasn't even halfway through it. I cared about the story, and the game was gorgeous, and things were great, but I needed to quit playing due to gameplay frustration. I usually will not like to play a game to completion unless I enjoy it. I love this one, but the gameplay was killing it, and I needed to end the suffering. I'm ready for the future, as in new game streaming services. I just love the new and shiny far too much to stick with a dud. I am in the middle of 5 games right now, and if my current jam isn't making music, then I drop it the mic at a Donald Trump roast. Don't get me wrong, Hellblade was hitting all the right notes at first, then all of a sudden I realised that I hated an integral part of the gameplay, which actually was part of the story as well. I was fed up and frustrated and tired of playing because of the shape hunt. I know exactly what he's talking about. You literally have to locate shapes. I will give them some credit. Some of the ways you have to actually make the shapes come to life are interesting, but it is no witness. Anyway, now 5 months later, the story was still calling me back. I finally gave it another chance. The shape thing got better too. I got through the entire game and discovered some of the incredible gameplay I'd not experienced before, or at least not at this level. After finishing it, it was one of the most true, devastating and depressing yet absolute best endings of a game ever. That said, maybe it's best for some people to skip this one. I'm not talking about skipping it because of the shape hunting gameplay. I'm talking about people maybe skipping it that have lived with abuse disorders or depression. In the accompanying documentary, the devs state that hopefully this game brings more awareness and helps rid some of the stigmas that go along with mental illnesses. I hope so. Imagine a video game commenting on social stigmas and having an effect on actual real-life issues. This is an incredible game. You probably should try it. If you don't plan to ever play it, then watch the ending and the trials just to see how beautifully it is all done. There has never been a game quite like it in more ways than one. The trials were incredible. Sometimes it is okay to work your way through a game that is irritating, but more importantly, sometimes it is okay for a game to try to make a statement or to reach out to other people. Far Cry isn't the right avenue. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is. Yeah, maybe Hellblade didn't try to make a statement about American politics, but maybe the point they did get across will help you feel more proud about the industry you are always complaining about. Not all games have to be beneficial to society or try to voice their opinions, but I'm glad that Ninja Theory did. They are evidently intelligent enough to do so, and that is what we need. Wise devs making points, not some money-hungry chums making another dumb shooter. I won't beat a dead horse, but if Stu would just get to coding, we can get this politically charged cult simulator starring Willie B. Nugget in the can. Wake up, Mike. Sorry to put you to sleep with this novel, but I was just trying to make a statement. Duke, go suck on a Twizzler.
Has ever done a better job of predicting our mental state at a certain point in it.
Duke, go suck on a Twizzler, a Sour Patch Twizzler. Pucker up, Buttercup, let the right one in. Jason.
You know, I would like a Twizzler right now. That's a really good recommendation. I don't have any in front of me, though.
So there you go.
Thank you, Jason. We appreciate that.
So he likes it.
He is the soul of wit.
I think I need to get back. Do you know what I'm going to do? As soon as I finish God of War, I think I'm going to go and try and go back and finish that game because I was quite a way in. And I got to this really stupid shape puzzle, weirdly enough, that put me off for a bit.
There you go.
So there you go. Maybe I need to just work my way through.
When I finish everything else, I'll play it.
Yeah. Next game. Actually, that is on my Steam. It is on Steam now. I had that, I think. So anyway, Biscotti Monster is the next email. And he says this. Yo, guys.
Yo.
Never really been into podcasts until recently, and then I thought I would give yours a bash.
Ugh, sorry.
A great show. Keeps me entertained as I drive around the country fixing stuff.
Fixing shit.
After listening to a couple of recent ones, I heard there is a love from Stu for horror films. Stu, what do you think of the Insidious series? They scared a hat off my scarecrow. I don't think I've seen Insidious, to be honest. I think I might have seen the first one, but I wasn't that impressed. Sorry.
I've heard they've got better though. I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Don't know. The last great horror film I saw was Get Out.
Get Out's a great film.
It's a good movie.
Great. Well, it's great.
And funny.
Yeah, that's what I said. Kind of crossover. Dark. Very dark comedy.
Yeah.
And it's important. Like, it's a movie that's really important.
Yeah. So
what I like about I can't talk. Is a spoiler in it. All right, yeah. It's a lot.
And I definitely want to see A Quiet Place. I've heard really great things about that.
And I'm glad I saw Get Out in the theater. I think The Quiet Place is one of those games or movies that you need to see in the theater too.
I didn't watch Get Out in the theater, and it made no difference.
Yeah. What's funny about A Quiet Place in the theater though is that sort of because there is no sound in the film, you just hear everybody crinkling and breathing and sort of making noises.
With other people that matters.
Yeah. So it'd be weird.
I was glad I saw Panther in the theater for the same reason.
Black Panther.
I've been thinking about getting a couple of cheap games that are single player to time me over the summertime when the kids are in bed. What would each of you suggest as your best PS4 budget pick?
PS4.
I don't have.
I love games such as Shadow of Mordor, Witcher 3, Ghost Recon, Burnout, Skyrim. Would Final Fantasy?
Skyrim? What?
Would Final Fantasy 15 be something you guys say is a good game?
Well, no, not for Skyrim lovers.
No.
Go play Skyrim again.
No, I would suggest, right?
On the PS4, you can fucking Last of Us.
Yeah, The Last of Us or Yakuza Kiwami or Yakuza 0. Sort of.
I've read on his other games. It sounds like he likes good games. You see.
They are good games. So yeah,
Uncharted. You got all the Uncharted collection and 4.
He might have played all them though. We don't know.
But he didn't fucking list them though, did he?
No, I don't know.
Like the Uncharted collection is probably a bit cheaper now, I'd imagine.
Yeah. If you've not played that, it's definitely worth it. And obviously, The Last of Us is definitely worth a look.
Yeah.
Awesome games.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Knack? No, don't buy Knack. That's a joke.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Knack is shit.
Yeah, I think he's looking for budget games. I feel like Horizon would still
be a bit pricey.
Fortnite, that's free. How about that?
Yeah, I don't think that's what he's after.
I don't know.
PUBG's not too expensive.
No. Fallout 4?
Yeah, but I think he's maybe looking more for sort of PS4 exclusive stuff, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, I don't know.
No, he doesn't say that. Mordor isn't a PS4 exclusive. The Witcher 3 isn't a PS4.
No, that's true. True
Fallout 4, Titanfall 2, I would say, is a popular game.
Yeah, I've heard great, and that's really cheap at the moment. You can pick it up for next to nothing.
I'd say the Tomb Raider game. Oh no, Tomb Raiders are out now, aren't they? Can you play that on the PS?
Yeah, of course you can.
You play that? Yeah, Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
They're really good games. I would recommend the Tomb Raiders, Rise of the Tomb Raider and the normal Tomb Raider.
Yeah, they're both good games.
I do like the Deus Ex games, so they're not too bad, but they're not. They're definitely flawed, but they're all right. Yeah, I can't imagine the Deus Ex games are very expensive these days.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about recommending The Division. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one to recommend. If you got
Play it.
And if you like, hey, by the way, and I know I mentioned this last week, and I'm sure you were listening, but if you like horror films, try Soma as a horror game, and that's on sale a lot, so you should be able to pick that up pretty cheaply. Yeah, Soma's great. Anyway, you finished it off with pour some syrup
Until Dawn, says Jason in the chat.
Until Dawn is good. Yeah, that's a good choice as well. Good shout. Good shout. Anyway, pour some syrup on this as it's waffle. Ciao for now. There you go.
My brother's in the chat. Bongo's in the chat.
Bongo! Right, next one. We need to get through these. There's loads. This is from Duke's South Dakota neighbor. And he says this. What's up, veteran gamers? Duke's South Dakota neighbor here. I wanted to tell Chinny that even though I have never played PUBG, thanks to your show, I am able to torment my 13-year-old Fortnite-loving son by constantly saying, PUBG, PUBG for life!
That really makes me happy.
It is funny. Every time he talks about Fortnite, I even shout it out in front of all his Fortnite-loving friends every chance I get. Much to his chagrin. I wrote you a few weeks back telling Duke and Ginny they should check out RimWorld.
Oh yes.
While I still think Ginny would love this game, I want to change my recommendation for Duke.
Uh-oh.
I have lost all of my free time lately playing Oxygen Not Included.
Oh, you played that?
Yeah, I have played that. I own it.
It's
good, but I haven't gotten crazy into it.
Which is what you would get if RimWorld and Don't Starve had a baby.
Yep. Well, it's the people who made Don't Starve, so that makes sense.
There you go. I believe Duke was a big fan of Don't Starve, and also he said RimWorld's $35 price tag was part of what was holding him back.
Yeah.
Oxygen Not Included is around $20, and a game I think Duke would love. That's all for now. Keep it the great word. Love the show.
I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't call it a game I loved. I mean, maybe I should try it again.
Maybe give it another whirl. You never know. You've done that before.
I have.
You have. P.S. How did Eric become Duke? I've listened for a few years, and I don't think I've ever heard the story.
I've told it several times.
You have, but go on, tell it again.
But it's the character from a story I wrote, a series of novels that I began when I was 12 years old. And yeah, one of the characters in it is named Duke Scath. And so when it came time for me to start choosing names on the internet, I chose that one.
There you go.
That's the story.
There you go. Job done. Now he knows. Next email tonight is from Derek's hands.
Derek's hands!
No, it's not.
Uh-oh.
No, I've got a load more yet. I can't miss one. What have I missed?
You missed Lewis.
No. He clumps all mine together. That's why. So
he emailed before Derek signs, though.
Well, Derek's in front of him. That's all. It doesn't
matter.
Mine. I've got it.
Lewis emailed at 10:53. Derek emailed at 1 minute to 7.
It doesn't matter anyway. Near a tomato.
Straight to your face. What you're saying right now is very boring.
Near a tomato or tomato. Get ready for a second food redemption.
Okay.
Howdy, veteran gamers.
Hi.
Howdy.
Just a few miscellaneous bits and pieces this week. Number 1. Can we expect another breakdown video from Chinny?
No.
Now that there's a new Red Dead Redemption 2 teaser trailer? No, would be the answer to
There's
that
not
question.
a lot to break down. John Marston's in it. John Marston's wife's in it. Go figure. Did you not know that?
Hey, John Marston's in it? Does that mean it's a prequel?
It is a prequel.
Yeah, he's in it.
Why don't
it is
you
a
know this
prequel.
thing?
We knew that.
John Marston's in it. His cuts on his face are fresh. He has 2 scars in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, it's just happened, so we might find out what caused them.
He's held back. You don't play as John Marston, but he's definitely in the story. It's about the gang that John Marston's done. Most likely, in Red Dead Redemption, you're at the end of the gang's sort of life, so you basically, you're regretting all the bad shit that you've done, so you're very likely to see all the bad shit that they actually did in Red Dead Redemption 2.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, in a nutshell, right there. No
I actually don't think there's not much to break down. There probably is if I'd looked at it a bit closer, but
Hours in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, yeah. I don't want to look at it anymore. I just want to play it. So yeah, and I don't have the time. I already.
Somebody else should do a breakdown. You do it.
Yeah, go on, Derek. You do it.
Yeah, Derek, you do one. Anyway, number 2. After reading lots of conflicting reviews about Nier Automata for the PS4, I decided to buy it for myself, and I'll probably start it tomorrow.
I heard lots of
Did you ever play this game? Yes, I did. Did I finish it? No, I didn't. It's on my pile of shame, along with other stuff that I should have finished and never did. And I liked it, by the way. I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. But I can't remember. Something shiny came along. Who knows what it was? Anyway, now Chinny has a PS4. Does he have any interest in playing it?
No.
No. There you go. Answer that. Number 3. Number 3. I was reminded of Duke when I heard about the man from Wisconsin who has now eaten 30,000 Big Macs over the last 50 years or so.
Yeah, I think he's in Super Size Me.
The report on USA Today says the man, Don Gorski, is apparently in fairly good health and has only missed about 8 days without eating a Big Mac. So, have the veteran gamers any food obsessions?
Oh, yeah.
Pizza! I love pizza.
Making your own, I understand.
No, I'm really getting into making my own pizzas and sort of trying different doughs. I'm actually making a sourdough starter this week. So I can make sourdough pizza bases. Oh my God, they're going to be so good. So there you go. So yes, I'm really into pizza. And obviously being a chef, I'm into food in general anyway. So yeah, that's mine. What about you two? Food obsessions?
Yeah, I do like pizza. I love crisps. Or potato chips, as they would call them over there.
I like chips.
I just fucking love crisps, man. I just eat them and go, these are great, aren't they?
Yeah. I really like olives as well. I could eat olives like sweets.
I like olives, but I would never call them an obsession.
No, not an obsession, but I do like them.
He's asking about obsessions, isn't he?
Pizza!
Yeah, pizza's
pizza for life. And the more I'm buying a new pizza oven for my garden, I'm doing my garden up, as I said last week. You got my dick.
Hey, dick.
I'm gonna get a pizza oven called an Uni 3, which was a Kickstarter thing, but it looks super cool. So I'm getting one of them for the garden when I'm finished, and I can cook pizzas outside, and it's gonna be amazing. So there you go. So yeah, I love food, love pizzas.
Maybe snack cakes. I like chocolate. We had s'mores last night at a campfire I went to. I like pasta. Pizza's good. Taco Bell is like my guilty pleasure. What else? Yeah, I like a lot of foods.
There you go.
Does he count the Big Macs then that he eats? This chap in Wisconsin
must have done.
I think people
he probably knows. I think he knows how many he eats a week, doesn't he? Because he eats the same amount every week. So he can just times it by the number of weeks in the last 50 years.
Wow.
So easy to work out, I guess.
What a fucking haircut this guy has, by the way.
Yeah, he's an interesting looking guy.
This is how I imagine everybody from Wisconsin looks now, by the way.
Yeah.
God, look at that hair. Shit.
Out of interest, Derek, what's your obsession? Because he didn't let us know. We don't know what he's obsessed or into.
I like eating humans.
Right, okay, we've got to get going because there's another 4 emails to get through.
Oh my God! And speak pipes, Jesus.
Come
on.
Speak pipes.
Right, I'll read them for a bit. Right, just to give you a break.
You do Lewis, and then I'll do your brother's Ginger Balls.
There's Armar as well.
I know, and there's also the American Patriot.
Right, Lewis. Hello, veterans. After what I said last week, I decided to continue to email in each week. So just ignore what I said last week about going away. This week, I went to a friend's house, and he had Yakuza 6 demo on his PS4. I decided to give it a go, and Stu, you're right, it's very good. I didn't get Alien Isolation.
Here it is.
I didn't get Alien Isolation, and instead I got a Golf Story after watching Chinny play it on the stream. That's great too. But when I looked up the game on the internet, it said it wasn't a British game. It was an Australian game. Sorry if I'm wrong about that, but that's what I found. You're probably right, because they say mate as well in Australia. Also, I found that in an interview, the head of Nintendo said that the game he enjoys playing at home is Golf Story. So there's that. After watching Chimmy stream The Witcher, I don't think it's for me, but I respect Stu's opinion after Yakuza. The big question this week is, what is your favourite games console ever? PCs don't count. I might have already asked that one before, but I can't remember. Anyway, that's all from me.
No, I don't think it has. Don't think it has.
Bye for now. So, Stuart, favourite games console? Go.
Xbox 360.
Eric.
Yeah, Xbox 360. Although the PS2 had some really good games on it, so it's hard for me to pick just one.
It's hard to pick one, but I would say the 360.
I think 360 for me is because it's the first time I played on a console that had full-on internet connectivity with no messing around.
And you could play with people in the other countries, and you said to Kay, "Hey, look, I play with something."
It blew my mind.
You played Rockstar table tennis.
Table tennis.
We know
in America.
We
talking
know
to him,
everything
and it
you're
blew
going
my
to say.
mind.
Stop talking about the same things.
Yeah, but new listeners don't know that, and Lewis doesn't know that.
Right.
Yeah, people don't know where my name came from.
Next email. Next email. Thank
Don't
you,
worry,
Lewis.
next week we'll get an email asking how we met each other. Right.
Yeah. We talked about when we wanked each other off, Stu. How
I
about
wrote
that?
in with an email about sound in Peggle.
You did?
You did.
God.
Okay.
Anyway,
The next
Ginger Balls. And he says this. It's all about 10 years ago. All of the below are achievements or trophies from PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 in 2008. And they should give you a little clue as to what the game is. Best of luck. So you've got to guess the game from the achievement. Are you two ready? Here we go. Quick quiz. Number 1, Seriously 2.0.
Gears of War 2.
Number 2, The Power of the Atom.
Fallout 3.
Number 3, you're not good. You need to shout up, man. Shout up.
Guessing these? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Number 3, Hardened War Hero.
I would say Call of Duty.
Right, okay. Which one? There's been a lot of those.
Yeah, exactly.
4.
Guns.
4.
28. 2008 probably is 4, isn't it? I would have thought. Number 4.
2008. 2008. No, 2008. That was Call of Duty World at War. 2008.
Is it? No idea. Number 4. Epic Tier 3 Engineer.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't. What was that?
Mass Effect, Battlefield.
Yeah, maybe Battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like Battlefield, doesn't it? Number 5. Zombie Genocidist.
Dead Rising.
Which one? It won't be this first one, will it?
First
that
one.
was really
No, it was the
I
first
thought
one.
that was 2006, 2007, the first one. I think that was earlier. That wasn't long after the 360 released, because it was one of the really early games on it.
It was, yeah. It was 2006, yeah. I keep forgetting they're 2008 games. Dead Rising 2, did that come out in 2008?
Yeah, I think it could be 2.
Maybe.
I think it could be Dead Rising.
I want to say
2.
Dead Rising 2 came out in 2009, but I might be wrong. Okay, fine. Dead Rising.
Number 6, 500,000.
The Orange Box came out. No, that was 2007. I don't know.
Don't know. Number 7, Pro Runner.
Track and field.
I don't think that'll be it, but you never know.
You never know. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it.
Number 8, The Richest Man in Gotham.
Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City.
That came out in 2009. Maybe it's the Lego Batman game.
Probably a Batman game though.
It's like a Lego. I'll go for 2009. 2009 is Arkham Asylum came out in 2009 without a doubt, so it can't be that. So it has to be like a Lego game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I think it sounds like because you pick up all those little bloody pegs, don't you, in Lego games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that. Number 9, Prison Escape.
Prison Architect.
No.
Nah, that came out way later.
Way Out.
No, yeah, that definitely didn't come out in 2008. I'm trying to think of a game where you escape from prison.
I'm trying to think what came out.
Oh, I know what it is.
on.
You should definitely know what this is.
Go on.
What? Oh, it's Oblivion, isn't it?
Oblivion.
Oblivion came out 2006.
Well,
Why
that's
are you
what
saying the years these games came out? Are they all supposed to be from 2008?
Yes.
That's what it said.
I'll tell you what came out in 2008.
Nobody cares.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Hmm.
Assassin's Creed. I was going to say Assassin's Creed 2, but I thought it was. I think that's 2009. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Anyway, he's good. He's sent the answers in his speak pipe, so we'll find out in a minute. Number 10, Beat the Challenge of the Gods.
God of War.
It's got to be one of them, hasn't it?
God of War came out. Yeah, it could be 2008. It could be 2000. Yeah, I don't know.
Is God of War 3 that old?
God of War 3 is quite old, yeah. I'd say it's 2008, 2009, I think.
Anyway, right, we'll break off from emails and listen to the answers, shall we, before we move on? Let's see what...
Okay, Ginger Balls 56. Oh wait, is this the first one? Uncle?
No, he only sent one. So that should be it.
There we go.
Hello, what's up, veteran gamers? It's me, Ginger Balls, and I'm here, hopefully getting through to you now about the answers to the quiz. Right, so number 1, Series 2 is Gears 2. Number 2, Power of the Atom is Fallout 3. 3, Modern War Hero is Call of Duty World at War.
Booyah.
Oh, you were right.
Tier 3 Engineer is Dead Space. 5, Zombie Genocidist is Left 4 Dead.
Bastard.
Oh,
6,
look at that.
500,000 is GTA 4. 7, Pro Runner is Mirror's Edge. 8, The Richest Man in Gotham is Lego Batman.
Damn, Chinny
9,
wins this quiz.
Well done.
Far Cry 2. Beat the Challenge of the Gods is God of War Chains of Olympus.
That's
Chains of
one I never
Olympus.
played.
That was the PSP one.
Got all the answers
Yeah.
there. I had to read between 2 screens, and hope everything goes all right tonight.
No, it's gonna be going
See
horribly
you later.
wrong.
Terrible. So everybody won. Way well done.
We all won.
I don't
We
think I got
all won.
That was a good quiz.
That was good. I like that. Okay, next email is off Armar, and he says this. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Not written in for a long time, being even longer since I was invited to be a host, hint, hint. So I have a few questions for you all. Duke, I was catching up on the last few Vetcasts, and you said you were playing tracks. My question to you is, have you ever thought of or played Railroad Tycoon?
Nope.
Well, these are pretty good, and in the SimCity mold, but with trains. You may not get the nerd factor in terms of types of locomotives, but give these a go. Or better still, Google Transport Tycoon Deluxe open source to get an open source and free version of the game. Well, you might try if it's free.
Maybe.
Stu, are you due a graphics card upgrade anytime soon? Actually, I am, because I've only got a GTX 770, which is kind of old these days. But I'd have to upgrade other stuff because my processor's a bit shit now as well. So I'd have to do quite a bit of messing around and maybe, in fact, build a whole new computer. If so, what is on your hit list? Right, well, if money was no object, I think I'd go over... because I'm AMD at the moment for my processor. But that being said, some of the new AMD processors are getting really good reviews. So it's kind of a funny one, really. But I would have maybe go for more of an i5. I think I would go i7 because apparently i7 are sort of not really suited to gaming and they're more for crunching numbers and stuff. But i5s are kind of where you need to do it.
Duke, this is a really good time to play that clip.
It is. It is. Look, he's asked the question. What am I going to do?
Okay.
A GTX 1080.
Gives a shit.
GTX 1080. A case big enough that I don't have to cut bits out of it to fit the graphics card in would be good. And obviously some nice cooling and stuff, and obviously some more updated RAM. But I'll probably go 16 gigs again of RAM because that kind of seems to be a good amount to have. And that's kind of what I do. So yeah, I'm probably in the next few years gonna probably get around to building a new one. At the moment, it's fine. I can play most stuff still on 1080. So there you go. That's kind of what I'd be looking at. Chinny, my congratulations on your pending nuptials and your acquisition of a chicken dinner. One of these days, I will be at the arcade meetup. Question to you is, when the hell are you gonna play Zelda Breath of the Wild?
I will fight you if you do not think this is the best game.
Yeah. So when are you gonna play it, Chinny?
I feel like most of my life is, when are you going to play this?
Yeah, it is.
Because now I'm playing something where a lot of people have asked me that question. And now while I'm playing it, other people are saying, but when are you going to play this? I don't know.
You're going to play it.
Yeah, I'll probably play it soon.
Oh, no. Take this. Oh, no.
I think Breath of the Wild will be my next big game that I stream. You know, like Skyrim and The Witcher, and I think Yeah, I think Zelda will be a streaming game. So
Anyway, we need to
don't
get
know.
on. We need to carry on. We
Yeah,
need to carry on.
I don't know. Is that
As soon as Jim's
seriously.
talking, oh, we need to carry on. But when it was
Yes,
Stu,
seriously. I am looking forward to you streaming while playing this. Put it this way. I am a Nintendo fanatic. And I have never, ever played a Nintendo or any other game on this scale. You are just delaying the good times. Okay. Questions for all of you. I recently got into a debate with my daughter, who is 9 years old. Been listening to you guys since before she was born.
Wow.
She prefers... I know, that's kind of scary, isn't it? She prefers Ben & Jerry's ice cream, whereas I have a much more refined taste and prefer Haagen-Dazs.
that's not more fine. It's just a different flavor. They're both good.
Yeah, both good ice creams. Equally good. I don't think you need to have a debate. They're both good for different reasons. So there you go. For me, on the gaming front, I have just received Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze on the Switch. I do own it on the Wii U and thought it was with the double dip. The Kong series of platformers are superior to Mario games 2D ones only. What do you say to that, Chinny?
I wasn't listening. I'm really sorry. I got distracted.
The Kong series of platformers are superior to Mario games.
That's
2D
fucking
ones
ridiculous, Armar. Don't be fucking crazy. They're good. They're very good. And I am tempted by that Tropical Freeze one. But to say that, no. No.
Okay. He finished it off. I also won on eBay a PC Engine GT. Not sure if you gents have ever heard of this. It was only ever released in the US of A and Japan.
No, I don't know what that is.
Got a bit of a bargain as the seller has his auction to end on a Friday at 10 a.m. Yeah, it's always a bit stupid, isn't it? Who does that on the eBay? Anyway, gents, love the cast, love the banter. You guys rock. Overseas gamers suck. I kid. Armar. So thank you, Armar, for that. That's very kind of you. Right, so we'll move on to the final email of this evening. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. And this one's from our lovely emailer, the American Patriot. And he says this. Hey, all.
Hey.
Hey. I've got to do a stupid accent now, haven't I?
Yes.
I hope you're having the best goddamn day ever. Why'd you guys think the Gaylord was gay? He ain't gay. Yeah, just named him after that guy you meet off the fuckers. Also, Chief Wiggum wanted to say that he's doing some target practice on some faces of goddamn Nazis. My son Billy Joe turned 5 this week. I gave him his first gun. Semi-automatic Hunter's Pro Sniper Rifle, complete with night vision scope and a silencer. If ever he was American flag on it, woohoo! Also, calling a local store, it ain't okay to pawn guns at Mexicans. I tried explaining that it was the name on our goddamn president, but he didn't listen. So I smashed the window and boom! I found on eBay a seller called Hot Game 69, spelled Hot Game S69 if you all want to go look. He said he sent over some surprise content for me to play with, so I'll tell you all about it next week. Anyway, Texas Rangers got his jam, so bye-bye. Boom! Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, really.
It's a bit scary. I think it's kind of scary, personally. You know, I don't know what this guy's going to do next.
No idea. Well, thanks for writing in anyway. We've got a bit of an issue here.
We have a little issue.
Duke has gone, not because he doesn't love you all. His dog has thrown up.
Dog has done a spew. Done a spew, man.
The speak pipes are...
There was only one other, I think, actually, anyway.
No,
so
there was not.
Oh, there were two. There were two.
Here, I'm back. Sorry.
Is your dog okay?
Yeah, he's okay. Well, it doesn't sound okay, but he is. We went over to a friend's house the other night, and they gave us a bone from an animal they had slaughtered. And we don't usually give Tito bones, but we thought, hey, whatever, could be fun. And he ate half of it, and he seemed fine. And then just now, a lovely way to have an interlude for the show is with some dog vomit that I have to clean up and then brush his teeth. Nice. But it's all taken care of. Stop that.
By the way, you just missed out on the American Patriots email this week. What a shame.
I have to listen to it on the podcast.
You can do. Right, we just need to do the speak pipes, then we can get the hell out of here because it's been a hell of a marathon tonight.
Speak pipe. Speak pipe.
it's the way to leave a
No,
message
it's
for
crap.
us.
The first one's from Uncool Kid on the Block. It's 14 seconds.
I wish that I could be like the cool kids, like the cool kids, like the cool kids.
Okay.
Love it.
I must say that if he's talking about the rap group, the Cool Kids, and I agree because they're pretty awesome. And they even talk about video games. This is a song they did called "A Little Bit Cooler." Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sitting on the couch, holding the remote, flipping channels. I'm a rebel, eating a bowl of them fruity pebbles, fruity pebbles, fruity pebbles.
This is why the show. This is why the show lasts so long.
That's great.
Oh yeah, my 20-second sound clip is why the show
Yes.
lasts.
Yeah, but you had all those 20 seconds up.
Waffling endlessly about his goddamn pizza.
It's an
base.
amalgamation of them all.
Yeah, it is. And to be fair, I spent about 5 minutes talking about pizza
one
bases.
Too.
Okay, next speak pipe.
Go on, next
Thank
speak
you,
pipe.
Derek Signs. That was blatantly Derek Signs.
That was blatantly Derek.
How hot she is, but she'll think I'm being sexist. She's so hot, she's making me sexist.
Who's the Boom King?
Skyrim. Now, the first time I played Skyrim, I was in college, and it was the first game that I actually lost track of time. I started playing at like 8 o'clock in the morning and went right about to like 8 o'clock at night, but it only felt like an hour, and it had not moved. I was in bed. I was disgusting. I've been there all day. Skyrim is just one of the best games I've ever played forever. I will just play it till the day I die.
Yeah.
There you go, kindred spirit.
Boom King, who? I'm the Boom King. What? Who's the Boom King? Coming now.
Just random sound clips.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Whose idea was the
Now-
speak pipe again?
Oh, no. Do you know what, though? I have a sneaky suspicion they might be the same person. Don't know what it is.
Don't know.
Anyway.
Next one.
Yeah, I think we need to do some shout outs on that.
No, there's another one. There's another.
Is there another one? Oh my god, there's another
The
one.
final one is from Uncle Festering.
All right, here we go then.
Is this person drunk?
Maybe.
I'm Stu.
Today.
Yay! Are not military veterans, we're veterans of the gaming lifestyle.
I think.
A new analysis published in the British Medical Journal finds that men are idiots. Specifically, they are much more likely to engage in stupid or risky behavior than women, often at risk to their own health or finances. They cite an armed robber who disguised himself by spray painting his face gold and then promptly died of a paint fumes. An actual quote from this study: men are idiots and idiots do stupid things.
All right. That's the end of that. Thank you.
Wow. Right.
All right, are we ready
That
for
was-
pipes?
I think we should scream these speak
It's
pipes.
time for a shout out. Hey!
Shout out! You, shout out!
Yeah, I will shout out Psyonix because they made a great game called Rocket League, and I love it. And I will also shout out Bethesda because they made a great game called Skyrim, which I also love.
Brilliant.
And I got to sneeze. Trust me, you did not want to hear those sneezes.
No.
Yeah, what else? I'll shout out Simmy Boy because I don't know if he's the one who actually gave me that card game, but whoever did, I appreciate it because you're very nice and I like it. And it was nice of you to give me that thing. And my teammate sucks. He couldn't take that pass that I just sent him. I think there was a sale recently for Rocket League, and there were people who bought it, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing now. So, but that's what I get for playing casual. That's it. I'm done with my shout-outs.
There you go, Ginny!
I want to shout out somebody that called themselves on Twitch No Value Comment, which is ironic because he did leave, or she did leave, a valuable comment on while I was streaming. And it was along the lines of that they love the show and they're a new listener. I think I remember that right, and they just really like the show. So to the person that came into the stream and said no value comments. I think he or she said that they were like a new listener to the show, been listening to the backlog, and they're really enjoying it. So shout out.
I always think it's a bit weird. I know people do it all the time, but it feels a bit weird, doesn't it, when people go back and listen to old shows?
I don't know. I mean, I've done it. I've done it to shows
Yeah.
that I
No,
like.
I've done it. Yeah. I've done it, I guess, but it is a bit. I don't know.
If you like
Anyway,
people on a show and you think, well, I'll just that show's
It's a
ended.
character in a book I wrote.
But we do appreciate that, I must admit. Yeah, we appreciate people who send us contributions to the show, be it an email or a speak pipe,
Or a
even if it is one that someone just put together from a load of clips. There's still work gone into it somehow, I guess.
Well.
So thank you for all of that. And I'm going to shout out CD Projekt Red, who made The Witcher 3, which is an amazing game.
How would you shout out a developer of a game? That's
And also, they're making the upcoming Cyberpunk 2077, which I think will be way more up Chini's alley than The Witcher even is. So I think that's going to be kind of something that's going to be totally cool. And I really can't wait for that to come out.
I don't get excited about things.
I do. I get excited.
Even Red Dead 2, I am excited, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm fine by waiting. I can wait. I'm an adult.
Excited all the time.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not a kid.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And that's it for me. So on that note, we need to get the hell out of here, don't we?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Gonna do something less boring instead. Sitting at home, watch TV, burning up slow food to me.
Oh yeah, Duke, I did watch that new Timor Minecraft, and I published it on the YouTube channel, and it made me want to play Minecraft again.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I gave it a proper thumbnail and everything on YouTube.
Yeah,
so.
when, cool. When the new version of Minecraft comes out, they're gonna restart it on 24 carats, and maybe you could play with us there.
Yeah, I was waiting for that Minecraft Realms to come out because then I could play it on my Xbox. I already own it on my Xbox. But you know, if
you have to pay for those though.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't know. I'll just buy it again. Just give them more money.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Why not? More money.
Fuck it.
More money.
Right, we're done.
Radio. We're done.
Yeah. Stop listening.